It's a whole new game.
Eight teams, 4 games, coast to coast, Canadian Hockey League coverage. In the Quebec League, Cape Breton can fill the net, but it's Victoriaville who's roaring as the Screaming Eagles battle Le Tigre. In the OHL, the Soo Greyhounds go to war against the expansion Brampton Battalion. While on the west, ring the bell. It's a heavyweight tilt, Eastern Division style, as the Blades get up for the Swift Current Broncos. And from the Western Division, it's first place Kamloops against second place Tri-City. Get up and dance. Do the Junior Hockey Shuffle. CHL Sunday Night is next.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to CHL Sunday. Control Center getting you set for a 4-game night. I'm Darren Millard with Greg Millen. We'll hear from the big guy in just a minute, but first let's bring you up to date with what's going to happen tonight. We will take viewers in the Pacific region to Kamloops to celebrate the return of former head coach Don Hay. Tri-City Americans tango with Kamloops. That's later on. But up next, it's a hat trick of action. The Prairies meeting in the middle for the second straight week. We serve up Swift Current, who go against Saskatoon. The Blades with 2 former NHLers behind the bench, Brad McCrimmon and Tim Chevelday. In Ontario, we rank the expansion battalion wearing the combat green. Brampton hooking up with the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. And how about the matchup that we have for you in the East tonight? Victoriaville trying to hold on to their lead in the LaBelle division up against Cape Breton. Joined by Greg Millen. Who do you like with the 3 games that we have for you right now?
Well, let's start off in Quebec. As you mentioned, I think it'll be a great battle. Victoriaville, sort of a surprise so far this year in the Quebec League, but they're playing against a tough scoring machine. This Cape Breton team, their first line is excellent with Walsh, Copley, and Tremblay. These guys can really score goals. Meanwhile, the Victoriaville philosophy has put 1 rookie on each line, so it'll be interesting to see how they hold up against the big line with Cape Breton. The Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, they can really score goals. We know that. Steve Jardine was the OHL Player of the Week this past week with 7 points. They can score. They've had a tough time keeping the puck out of their own net. Hey, but the Brampton Battalion, they finally won a game, and they won their home opener 5-4 against the Sudbury Wolves. So this should be a pretty good matchup. Maybe it'll be 9-8 the way these two teams have trouble defensively. And out west, my buddy Brad McCrimmon back behind the bench. I talked to him a few weeks ago. He said he doesn't know the league all that well yet, but he's really enjoying teaching these kids.
And we will show you the Brampton uniforms for the national audience. They are outstanding. 3 games lie ahead from the BC border to the Atlantic Ocean. Enjoy the action, everyone. We're back for the first intermission. But for right now, let's toss it out to the game in your region. Guys?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Brampton Sports Center, also known as the Bunker. The battalion here taking on the Soo Greyhounds. I'm Kevin Quinn, along with Nick Kypreos. And Nick, this is quite a facility.
Yeah, actually, it's indoors, not like when I used to play.
Well, one of the keys, of course, for this Brampton team was picking up their first win of the season, and it was right here at the Brampton Center. They took on the Sudbury Wolves last Sunday, and one of the kids that everyone's talking about, Jason Spezza, scores the tying goal right here.
Certainly a great time for the city of Brampton as they welcome the battalions into the OHL. It's, again, a big win, their first win in franchise history, and I'm sure they're going to try to add to it tonight, Kevin.
Everybody pumped as the Green came away with their first win. That was last Sunday. Now they've got the Soo Greyhounds in town tonight, and what do they have to do to beat the Greyhounds and pick up their second win of the season?
Well, tonight they got a player named Jason Spezza, and tonight he'll skate on the ice as the youngest player, but by watching him, you certainly wouldn't know that, Kevin. He's a big, strong kid, 6'2", 190 pounds, and he's already emerged as one of the leaders and go-to guys for Brampton battalions.
And when you talk about the Soo Greyhounds, it is a young man named Ryan Jardine who you talk about, and he is on the big line, and they've got to really come through.
And Jardine's coming off a tremendous week. 4 goals, 3 assists, OHL Player of the Week honors, and he'll skate tonight with Corey Pecker and Yanni Kukkonen. And they need to create offensive chances for this Greyhound team to be going.
And goaltending, of course, important for the Soo Greyhounds. Dave Cameron, the coach, telling us that as McCracken goes, this team goes.
And he knew right at the beginning of the season that Jake McCracken was going to be looking at about 50, 55 games this year. He's coming off a tremendous training camp for the Detroit Red Wings, and what he needs to do is really be consistent so he can start going to the next level, and that's being that dominating goalie that everyone thinks that he can be.
We'll see if he can dominate tonight as the Soo Greyhounds in Brampton to take on the Expansion Battalion. We'll have the face-off coming up. It's CHL Sunday night.
CHL Sunday night on CTV Sportsnet. Brought to you by Canadian Tire, still the right place. By Chrysler, a proud sponsor of Major Junior Hockey. By Bauer, leave an impression. And by Molson Export, history in the making.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Brampton Center for Sports and Entertainment. We are just moments away from the start of tonight's game between the Expansion Brampton Battalion and the Soo Greyhound. Let's go into the nets now. Brought to you by Coho, the brand of goalie equipment used by Patrick Waugh and Felix Potvin. And there's Jake McCracken. We talked about him off the top, Nick.
Yeah, and he's coming off a good 2 games on this road trip. Had some good success, and at the other end, of course, we got Scott Delavedova. And interesting enough, this is his home opener game. He's played all the games on the road, and this is actually his first crack at the home rink, and what a better way to start than tonight.
And the referees for tonight's game, Brad Bees is the referee. He'll be helped out on the lines by Steve Baker and Joe Celestine. And you talked about Delavedova. Yeah, he and David Chant and Brampton have been splitting the duties down the middle, and Delavedova getting the start tonight. And always special, I guess, especially when the new team is starting at home. Of course, his coach, Stan Butler, one of the most respected coaches around. You and I had a great chat with him. He's coached in the OHL. He coached out in the Western Hockey League, and he's back now in the O.
Yeah, very impressive man, too, as well. You get a chance to talk to Stan Butler, very knowledgeable man of the game. Understands what it takes to develop young players, and take a look at this lineup. At times over 18 rookies in the lineup, and almost like he's eligible to play a midget game with this lineup.
And there's the coaching staff for the Soo Greyhounds as we're set to go here. The Brampton Battalion in their unique green uniforms. That color you won't see anywhere else around hockey. And of course, the name Battalion is also a name that is not being used anywhere else in pro sports or amateur. Puck is in the Brampton, and we talked about that big line. Chad Spur out there with Kavanaugh and Zafiris, number 9, Zafiris. First shot on that. That one just whistled wide. Soo keeping it in. And we got a whistle. Tonight's lineup brought to you by Sherwood, proud to serve the hockey world. Let's take a look first of all at the visitors from Sault Ste. Marie. And there they are on defense. And Danny Pacero, boy, you talk about him. Here's a guy on defense. He's leading the team in scoring.
Not only leading the team in scoring, but leading all defensemen in scoring. 21 points, 5 goals, 16 assists, and he's off to a tremendous start this season.
And there's a look at Delavedova getting his first start, as we mentioned, at home here at the Brampton Center for Sports and Entertainment. I'm just going to call it the Brampton Center from now on. There is Danny Pacero, number 5. He shoots it in, or call it the bunker. I mean, that's what everybody else is calling it.
Exactly.
Of course, the military theme very much in evidence here in Brampton. The mascot's name, appropriately enough, is Sarge. He was out there entertaining the kids. Josef Vasicek back up top. There's a shot deflected just wide. Nick Jones in behind the net. Soo Greyhounds with some pressure early here. Gaelic back in the lineup. Number 11 throwing his weight around. He knocked down Tyler Hanchuk. Those two go at it. Hanchuk comes away with it, puts it around the boards. Chance now for Scott Thompson trying to get it out. Can't do it. Strilchuk in there pinching as well. Puck is loose, and here comes Jason Maleko, the captain for Brampton. Still under siege. Here is Jones. Loose in front. Vasicek trying to get a shot away. Couldn't do it. Brampton getting it out, but some early pressure here by the Sioux.
Excellent shift by this line. Real physical. A guy like Nick Jones out there, he knows what his job's out there to do, and that's take the body and create scoring chances.
A couple of minutes in, and the Soo Greyhounds have come out here with some jumps. Of course, they were in action on Friday night. They played in Kitchener, and they practiced here yesterday while the home team was on the road. They were in Kingston last night. A little bit of a unique situation in the scheduling, but the visiting team gets to practice at the rink they're going to play at the next day. After trying to gain the opposite offensive zone, Kavanaugh prevents that for the Sioux. 25, Chad Spur, veterans on this team. Harris, Jay Harris, top pick overall, number 23 for the Brampton Battalion out there now. Defenseman. Last summer in Barrie, his name the first one called at the draft, and Stan Butler very high on him. Of course, number 9 is the other guy we'll keep an eye on. He's just taking his shift off. Number 9, Jason Spezza, the 15-year-old. Here's Pecker to Jardine. Jardine trying to get it back to him. Can't do it. Picks it up behind the net. Pecker centering it out in front, and no one home. And that'll chase Bill Brown back into his own zone. Here is Jardine, player of the week in the OHL. 4 goals, 3 assists. Pecker, big hit.
Soo Greyhounds doing a good job getting the puck in deep and starting to cycle it.
Brown with a shot, Dellavedova the save. Another one. Dellavedova has that go off his glove. Jardine. In there with Corey Pecker coming away with it is Ryan Jardine. Back out in front. There's a shot. That one didn't miss by much as Valentin was down low. Brampton trying to get it out and do. So as you mentioned, Nick, some good pressure here. All this action early on. We're just 4 minutes in has been in this Brampton end. There's a chance now for Van Loosen. Aaron Van Loosen trying to get around Danny Pacero. Brian Barker in there as well. Strilchuk has him tied up, and here come the Sioux. This is Dan Pacero, leading point getter on this Soo Greyhound team. Brampton trying to get organized. Now they do. Here's a chance now for Brian Barker trying to get around Strilchuk. Barker cutting from it, stops, and a nice play there by the Sioux defense, and Pacero there to lead up at home. Strilchuk gets it out to center ice. And the Battalion just shoot it back in. Kick McCracken. Not busy. Loose puck out in front. Brampton looking for their first chance now. Here's Woods, and that one came across the line, so they'll have to clear the zone. Brampton trying to pick it up here. 15 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in the first period. Scoreless game between the Battalion and the Soo Greyhounds. Bateman, centering pass. Back to Woods. There's a shot, and that one went through a crowd and didn't make it on net. Here is Brad Woods. Justin Thompson. Jay Harrison bouncing puck, tracking no problem, but he decides to hang on to it. 15 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the first period. No score. We're in Brampton. Come on back. Welcome back, everyone, to the Brampton Center for Sports and Entertainment. The Bunker. No score here between the Battalion and the Soo Greyhounds. We take a look at the lineup for the Brampton Battalion on defense.
Hanchuk teamed up with, who is that, Maleko, and they're probably their best 2 pairs. Physical defenseman, nobody really to jump up on the rush, stay-at-home type defenseman. And you know, at times Stan Butler's going to go through those growing pains of having such a young team, but he's committed to the youth movement, and it's a 3-year project.
And it's the kind of thing that happens to you. 2-on-1, Chad Spur entered in front. They score! Tim Safiris on a nice feed from Chad Spur, and the Soo Greyhounds have opened the scoring.
Well executed 2-on-1 there, and Zafiris making no mistake. Take a look at it. Number 4, and I believe that was Jason Maleko, getting caught on the 2-on-1 here. As soon as you get that defenseman turned around like that, it was easy picking for Zafiris.
His third goal of the season has the Soo Greyhounds on top with a score of 1-0. And that's the kind of thing, as Nick mentioned, that's going to happen to a young team. They're going to get caught out of position. Now, Jason Maliko, one of the veterans on this team, and of course the answer to a trivia question: who was the guy to score the first ever goal for the Brampton Battalion? And Maliko did it in a 5-1 loss on opening night to the Peterborough Peaks. Of course, trivia a big part of this team, with Scott Abbott, the inventor of Trivial Pursuit, the owner. So the Battalion find themselves down. They lost last night 6-3 in Kingston. Close chance there as the Greyhounds continue to put on the pressure.
And the Sioux doing a great job getting the puck on the net, causing all kinds of havoc right now.
Not much that Scott Delavadova could do on that 2-on-1. We mentioned this is his first start at home. And in our conversation with Stan Butler, talked about not having a overage goaltender. There's a shot and a goal! Brampton coming back. It's Jim Bradley going upstairs, and just like that, this game is all tied up at 1.
Great shot by Bradley, wrist shot.
His third goal of the year.
Boy, he didn't waste any time. There it is. And again, almost creating a 2-on-1. Oh, and he just buried it upstairs too.
Snapped it up top.
Great shot.
Left side of Jake McCracken.
Barker doing a good job shielding off that defender there and sliding it over to Bradley, and real quick release.
Brian Barker getting the assist. 6-minute mark here of the first period, and it's all tied up at 1. Their first shot on goal, and they made it count. Here's a chance now again. Bradley's in there with Barker. In the corner. Barker being watched by Brown. Josef Vasicek takes a hit from Van Loosen. Van Loosen comes up with the puck. To Bradley, trying to get a shot away. It comes back to Brad Woods. Wrist shot on net. Ends up behind the net. Vasicek, another big hit by Bradley. That gets everybody here riled up as McCracken jumps on the puck and holds on. But some good action here as the Battalion coming alive.
Yeah, we talked about Brampton coming in last night about 1 o'clock in the morning from Kingston, and at times I know in that situation it's going to take you a while to get your legs going again. And with 7 minutes already gone by in this first period, they look like they're starting to get more involved, and certainly that goal by Bradley has lifted that bench.
Bradley not only a goal scorer, but look at him throwing the body around as well. Takes out Josef Vasicek. So the faceoff coming up. To the right of goaltender Jake McCracken. We look at Jim Bradley, his third goal of the year, has this team tied up with the Soo Greyhounds. 13 minutes, 21 seconds to go here in the first period. Jay Harrison, double the puck, that shot steered into the corner. Bateman trying to keep it in, can't do it, and here come the Greyhounds. This is Ryan Jardine in alone. Here's Jardine, Jardine with a move. Oh, and a big save by Delavadova. Jardine with a nice move to get loose, and Delavadova stood his ground.
Jardine showing tremendous speed there. You can certainly see why he's been able to accumulate a few points over the last little while. He's been very involved early in this game.
Here they come again. Corey Pecker with a shot. He scores! Corey Pecker with a wrist shot that finds the net, and it's 2-1. The goal's coming fast and furious now.
A hard, heavy wrist shot by Corey Pecker, but certainly one that Delavadova would like to have over again. Here we got Corey Pecker, and look how easy he gains that blue line. And this is a type of thing that would drive any coach crazy, is when a guy like that gets all that kind of room.
And Delavadova got a piece of it, but Corey Pecker gets his 6th goal of the season. And the Sioux on top 2-1. Jason Maliko, the captain, trying to get his team back. Kavanaugh steals it from him. Here's another chance out in front. Zafiris has 1 goal. Tonight was a good chance to get number 2. Eric Fox out there with Dan Pacero. Pacero up to Zafiris. Here's Chad Kavanaugh, veteran of this team. This team playing .500 right now. 5-1 record. Italian to shoot it in as McSwain puts it on net and then heads off for a line change. And here's Chad Spur. Nice little pass to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh long shot that didn't get through the legs of Harrison as he knocked it down before it could get to the net. Tied up in the corner. Still loose. McLaughlin and Harrison in there working on Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh does a good job of getting the whistle. The visitors from the Soo have the lead. It's 2-1. We're coming back to Brampton right after this. Tonight's top prospect is brought to you by MasterCard, the official card of the Canadian Hockey League. And it's Ryan Jardine.
And this is a second chance we've had to see Ryan Jardine in the Soo Greyhounds, and he's a player that plays in all situations. He's never out of position and offensively real creative. And he reminds me of an old teammate of mine, Dougie Gilmore.
That's not a bad guy to be compared to. 11 minutes and 28 seconds to go here in the first period. The Soo Greyhounds on top of the score of 2-1. Tony Catilla having some trouble. The Italian do get it out. Shots on goal, 5-2 in favor of the Soo. Pacero in his own zone. Get it out to Mike Nelson. Nelson out there with Josh Bennett. Nelson loses it. Italian trying to get it out and do down the ice, and Strilchuk is there as the Battalion are on a line change. Here's Strilchuk over the line. Long shot and a pad save there by Dellavedova. Jason Maliko gets it out to center ice. Strilchuk is there battling with Bradley. Nick Jones, one of the tougher guys on this team. Here's Nick Jones and Maliko. We saw Nick Jones a couple of weeks ago in Guelph, and he's not afraid to mix it up.
No, he's a big kid too, about 6'2", almost 200 pounds, and I got a chance to stand beside him downstairs earlier today, and there's a very good reason why I'm not playing. I think it's guys like Nick Jones starting to come to the league. I've made my retirement an easy decision, Kevin.
Well, we saw Jones take on Bob Crummer, one of the tough guys in the Guelph Storm, and he went toe-to-toe with Crummer. So Nick Jones policing that line of Vasicek and Gaelic, two of the European imports on this Soo Greyhound team. Pacero. Pass for Gaelic was too far. Brian Barker tied up with Gaelic and Jones. Good chance now for Hanchuk. Tyler Hanchuk, another rookie on this team. Almost every player we mention on this Brampton team a rookie. He's second in the team in scoring behind Jason Spezza. Hanchuk out there with the veteran. Maliko off the boards to Van Loozen. Aaron Van Loozen. Chopped in, and the Battalion will make a line change. We'll pick it up is Derek Fox. Fox, Yanni Kukkonen. He takes a bump. Corey Pecker also hit by Harrison as he tried to cross the blue line. And we've got a penalty coming up. Don't forget the NHL Tuesday night game of the week on CTV Sportsnet. It features the Buffalo Sabres and the New York Rangers from Madison Square. That's Tuesday at 7:30. The Sabres and the Rangers on CTV Sportsnet. And Nick, you'll be working that game from the studio. The Rangers finally getting their act together.
Yeah, and they have a former Soo Greyhound to thank for that. That's Mr. Wayne Gretzky.
He was a pretty good junior player, wasn't he?
I'd say 70 goals in your rookie year would qualify as a pretty good player. There's a high elbow.
16, Corey Pecker gets the high sticking penalty, so the Brampton Battalion will go on the first power play of this game. Their power play working at 18%, but only 20% at home. They are 3 for 15 here at the bunker. Icing the call, and that'll come back into the Brampton zone. That's something, of course, again, with a young team, as we take a look at one of the youngest guys on the club, Jason Spezza. This kid is a star.
And he will not be eligible for his NHL draft to the year 2001. And I tell you what, he's already got a lot of NHL scouts drooling.
15 years old, has to play in his hometown. His parents live here in Brampton. He will go back into the OHL draft in the summer. So it's very similar to what happened to Rico Fata. Rico Fata spent his first year as a 15-year-old in the Soo, and then got drafted by London, and of course then got drafted by the Calgary Flames, and he made the team. He was a first-round pick last June.
Starting to make an impact too. Excellent skater, and he's already utilizing his speed.
There's Jason Spezza. Here he is, number 9. Nice move. Spezza with a chance. Oh, McCracken had to be sharp, and we see the skills there. Remember, he's a 15-year-old hockey player. Spezza behind the net. Back up top it goes. Havel waits. The side. Spezza right out in front. Barker's there. Couldn't get a good shot on it. 1:05 to go here in the power play. Jason Maliko. Maliko spins. Behind the net. Spezza trying to get it out in front. Bouncing puck. Havel has it there. Still has it. And it comes back to Spezza. Spezza trying to get loose. 3 guys there. And Kavanaugh corrals a loose puck and sends it down the ice. 45 seconds to go. The first power play of the game.
Certainly an excellent move by Spezza there, and goes to show you what everybody is getting real excited about. Won't be 15 till June.
Jay Harrison, 16 right? Jay Harrison out there with the puck now, also a 15-year-old, but he will turn 16 in November. So Harrison with the puck right now from Whitby, but it's okay for him to play as a 15-year-old away from home because he will turn 16 within the season. 8 seconds to go in the power play. Two Greyhounds, other than that rush by Spezza, have done a pretty good job here. And they kill off the first man advantage situation of the evening. Van Loosen in a foot race for the puck. But Skrilchuk will get there, and that will be icing. 7 minutes and 34 seconds to go here in the first period. We're coming back to Brampton right after this.
I think what makes Jason great is that he's still got that kid in him, and he just loves to come to the rink and play the game. And I think that's important. When you just love to play hockey and love to come to the rink, and you don't worry about all the other exteriors things about it. You're just a kid that wants to play hockey. I think that really sets you up well for success.
And there's a look at the young man we were talking about, Jason Spezza, and it's attitude as well as skill. So important if you're going to move on in your hockey career.
There's no question about that. And when you talk about a 15-year-old and whether there's room for 15-year-olds in the league, Kevin, you know, perhaps the dilemma is whether we're rushing them too much or if it hurts them in the long run. But the ones that really should know what's best for any 15-year-old should be their parents, mom and dad. I think there's different maturity levels, and everything according to Jason Spezza says yes, this kid is mature enough and ready enough, and he's not in a situation where he can be physically hurt because of his age. He's a big, strong kid, and the bottom line is he's having fun and he's where he wants to be.
Of course, big article today in the Toronto papers about whether we are rushing our kids and whether we're doing them a disservice in Ontario by putting these players in this position where they could be playing against 20-year-olds. But Jason Spezza, an example, just like Rico Fata, of a guy that can get the job done. And he's leading his team in scoring and still having fun at the game, as Stan Butler said, and that is so important. Six minutes, 46 seconds to go here in the first period. 2-1 is the score. Kevin Quinn along with Nick Kypreos. The Soo Greyhounds on top. Goals by Tim Safiris and Corey Pecker. Tim Bradley has the goal for the Brampton Battalion. Looking for their second win of the season as McCracken jumps on it. Now, other games around the CHL. Let's go to Darren Millard now for an update on Swift Current.
Thank you, Kevin. We have a little offense west. Saskatoon against the Broncos. The Blades wrapping up a 3-game road trip wearing their road blue, and that's Warren Peters tucking it home, his third goal of the season. 1-0 Blades with 8 minutes to go in the first. Let's toss it back to Brampton.
Thanks very much. Remember to stick around in the period coming up around the CHL. Darren Millard, my partner, during the weekend, and Greg Millen will get you caught up on the rest of the action around the Canadian Hockey League. Here come the Soo Greyhounds. This is Vasicek out there with Martin Galick. Galick back to Vasicek. Vasicek being watched by Thompson. Big guy, strong, out in front. And Delavadova decides to hang on to it, but you can see the size of Josef Vasicek has made him such an attractive player for the Soo Greyhounds.
We're looking at Josef, 4th round draft choice from Carolina. His game's power and finesse. And if you noticed on that rush, he does the give and go, and then he keeps going to the net, Kevin. His feet never stop, and when that happens, all kinds of room starts opening up.
Scott Delavadova facing 9 shots so far. The Greyhounds have outshot the Battalion 9-4 here with 6:13 to go in the first period. Here's another one. Fox with a shot right on pad save. Loose in front. Greyhounds keep it in. Here is Vasicek centering it to Nick Jones, but that one was picked off before he could get to him. And the Battalion get it out. Here's Derek Fox, a first-round pick of the Greyhounds. Here's Martin Galick. Galick with Jones cutting for the net. Galick cops it for Vasicek. Here's Josef Vasicek. Just knocked off the puck before he could get away. Thompson hit. They carry on. There's a chance now for the Battalion. Moving in. Rafi Torres. Back up top. Over to Brad Woods. Woods winds, fires, and that one hit a skate. Another chance. Wrist shot fanned on. Loose in front. Bateman is there, but he's all tied up. Battalion just misfiring. Jay Harrison with a chance, but couldn't get good wood on it. And pushing and shoving in front of the Brampton net, and of course the bench. Nick Jones involved. At the end of the period, stick around. Our Bauer around the CHL with Darren Millard and Greg Millen for all the news, scores, and highlights from a busy Sunday in the Canadian Hockey League. Here on Sportsnet, of course, regional coverage. We've got 4 games on the go, so lots to talk about. And that's all coming up in 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Our penalties coming up right now, and tough guy Nick Jones is in the box. He'll go in for roughing as he roughed up Jay Harrison. So a chance for the Battalion to go on their second power play.
Here you got Nick Jones coming in, pretty good check, and then all of a sudden it gets a little, he's got to get a little extra there, and that's just a guy that needs to really kind of control his emotions at times. He's a big, strong, physical kid, and that could be detrimental sometimes if you don't channel it and control it well. But certainly a very popular player amongst his teammates, and I know he makes 19 other guys feel a little braver when he's on the ice, that's for sure, Kev.
And we saw that up close. Now he roughed up Jay Harrison, but he speared one of the players from the Brampton bench. So he got 4 minutes. So here's a great opportunity now for the Brampton Battalion to come back and tie this hockey game. Not the only other man advantage situation. The Sioux killed it off, but now they face 4 minutes. And here is Jason Spezza, number 9. Weaving his way through center. Kavanaugh tied him up. Thompson back up top for Maliko. Parker cross ice. The chance now for Havel. He's kind of off balance, could get a good shot away. Thompson there to control. Maliko will keep it in for the Battalion. Good job there by Havel trying to keep it in. Diving effort, but ends up out. And down the ice is Chad Spur. Sends it down, and the Sioux send out new penalty killers. 2 minutes, 58 seconds to go, with a 4-minute scurrying penalty to Nick Jones. Here's Spezza to Maliko. Maliko across the line, trying to get it back to Spezza in his skates. Pacero is there for the Greyhounds. Can't get it out. Thompson keeps it in. Backhand, round behind the net it goes. Wilczuk gets to it first. Thompson walking out. Thompson behind the net. Spezza to Barker. Wrist shot. Saved there by McCracken. And Dan Pacero will shoot it down the ice. You see Spezza likes to set up behind the net on the power play. Feed it out in front. 2:18 to go.
Great ability, too, to hold on to that puck and not make a decision until to the very end. He's got a great tolerance for holding on to the puck.
Brackett trying to clear it out. Can't do it. 2 minutes to go here in this man advantage for the Brampton Battalion. They've only got 1 shot away in a 2-minute span. We saw this in Guelph too, that the Soo Greyhounds very good when it comes to killing penalties. They've got that speed that really is to their advantage. Guys like Mike Nelson,
They're very active penalty killers. They're not passive at all. They want to keep their feet moving, and they really force you to make a decision even though they're one man short.
Here's Brad Woods. Woods with a pass to Scott Thompson. It's Jeff Bateman. Bateman ridden hard there by Pacero. Spilchuk comes up with it. Trying to get it out, can't do it. Bateman again trying to center it out in front. Pacero is there, cleared but not out. Harrison flips it on net. Loose puck in front. Out in front again. Banging away was number 21, Aaron Van Loosen, but he couldn't get it by Jake McCracken. 1 minute to go in the power play for the Brampton Battalion. 2:16 to go here in the first period. A 2-1 game. That one whistled down as it crossed two lines, and
couple good opportunities on this power play. Getting the puck down low, and a good job by Van Loosen to even get his stick on the puck out of the air. Take another peek here, and a big kick save by McCracken, and he enables his team to still be up by 1 goal with 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go.
54 seconds to go, and the 4-minute penalty to Nick Jones. Is Lucas Havel out there with Maliko. Jason Spezza fires it in. Thompson will race for it. And that's going to be icing, and another mistake made by this young team. .149 to go here in the first period. The Soo Greyhounds on top of the score of 2-1. Here's Luke Havel, knocked off as he crossed the blue line. Cleared out and down the ice. 15 seconds to go. The power play for the Battalion. Their second of the game. There's a bouncing puck over Jason Maliko's stick. Soo with a chance to run the clock. And Nick Jones back on the ice, so the Soo weather this 4-minute storm. Maliko ridden hard by Pacero. And the Soo coming away. 1 minute and 8 seconds to go in the first period. Here is Nick Jones. Jones out there with Yanni Kukkonen. Jones stops. Centering pass for Jardine. That was just a little bit behind him. Less than a minute to go till ceasefire, as they say here in the bunker. It's not just the end of the period. 2-1 is the score. We're coming back to Brampton right after this. Welcome back, everyone. We're here with the home of the Battalion. Down 2-1 with less than a minute to go here against the Soo Greyhounds. The expansion Brampton Battalion looking for just their second win of the season. Here is Brian Barker up there with Aaron Van Loosen. Van Loosen with a chance. A bouncing puck, can't get it down. Finally does. Into the corner he goes, and Brown takes him out. 35 seconds to go. Kukkonen trying to get it out, can't do it. Cleared along the boards. Harrison will keep it in for the Battalion. Van Loosen. There was Jim Bradley. Bradley with the only goal for the Battalion so far. 18 seconds to go. Here's Ryan Jardine, number 21. And that one offside with 12 seconds to go here in the first period. Shots on goal. The Soo Greyhounds out shooting the Battalion 10-6, but certainly have outchanced them, especially early on in this first period. They had a chance to really break it open, but credit to Scott Delavadova. As we take a look at Barker, one of the veterans on this team, played for the Barrie Colts. And for deciding to come over here, a native of Prince Edward Island, has been one of a steady influence on a very young Brampton Battalion hockey team. Cleared in, less than 5 to go. That one goes into the crowd, and we've got a offside, and we'll bring it outside the blue line. 4.58 seconds to go. Mentioned the Brampton Battalion coming off a 6-3 loss last night in Kingston. The Soo Greyhounds were starting this road trip in North Bay. They won, and they tied Kitchener 5-5 on Friday night. They got the chance to practice here, and so far so good. Pacero with a long rising shot, and that will do it. The end of 20 minutes of hockey. The Soo Greyhounds have the lead 2-1. Goals by Corey Pecker and Tim Zafiris. We're coming back to Brampton. Stay with us. 2-1 in favor of the Sioux.
Around the CHL. Brought to you by Bauer.
Welcome back to CHL Sunday, our control center. Hope you're enjoying the action. 3 games underway right here on CTV Sportsnet. Let's get you up to date with what's going on around the Canadian Hockey League right now, recognizing the snipers, the individual accomplishments, and the players of the week from the OHL, the Western Hockey League, and the QMJHL. Yaroslav Svoboda from the Western Hockey League, the Kootenay Ice, 6 points in 2 games. Ryan Jardine, 4 goals, 3 assists in just 2 outings, and you can't discount the offensive performance. Ryan Walsh, you're watching him tonight, 7 goals, 5 assists from Cape Breton. Now that there's some news from the Western Hockey League, the WHL putting their foot down on Brandon Wheat King head coach Bob Lowe, suspending the bench boss for 10 games. Bob Lowe tossed a tantrum in an overtime tie against Portland a week ago, running along the players' bench, swinging a stick against the glass. In the end, he chased the officials up the ramp all the way to their dressing room. He has been suspended for 10 games. He has sat out 2 of those games already. Mark Johnson will take over in the interim. Brandon Wheat King's also fined $2,500 for failing to provide proper security for those officials. Hottest team around the nation right now, no doubt about it. The #1 team in the Canadian Hockey League, the Halifax Mooseheads. All they have done is win 15 games in a row to take over the #1 ranking from the Ottawa 67s, and why not? When you win 15 in a row, moving them up to 5th all-time, the longest winning streaks in the Canadian Hockey League. Sorel Kitchener sharing #1, winning 27 games in a row. Hull next with 24, set in 1996. Estevan from the Western Hockey League, 22 in a row back in 1967. Estevan now taking part in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. Other news and notes that pass your way: the Ottawa 67s a couple of nights ago retiring the #7 of Doug Wilson, Greg Millen, a guy that you know very well and played with.
Yeah, I sure do know Doug extremely well. Let's take you back, first of all, to his junior career. 51 goals in 2 seasons on the blue line for the Ottawa 67s. I was playing against him in Peterborough back then, and I got to tell you something. He had an absolute rocket from the point. And, of course, it didn't hurt that they had Bobby Smith and Peter Lee up front as well to sort of help the low play, and then they'd find Doug Wilson walking into that shot, and he used to just blast it. And then what a successful career he had in the National Hockey League. I had the pleasure of playing with Doug in Chicago, and he's just a classy gentleman both on and off the ice. A real contributor to the National Hockey League, now an executive with the San Jose Sharks. You know, I don't understand why junior teams take so long to retire players' numbers. I mean, Doug Wilson is an excellent example. Dennis Potvin and Peter Lee are already up in the rafters in Ottawa, and one more to come, of course, with Bobby Smith. He'll be honored as well in Ottawa. But it's a good idea. I think it's great for the fans. I think it's terrific, and I think more teams should do it. It's a wonderful accomplishment, and good for them.
Yeah, you're right. You don't see it a lot around junior hockey. By the way, Peterborough, they retire your number yet?
Never. Not a chance.
We'll start the retire Greg Millen's number and recognize your long-standing contribution to junior hockey. We should remind you that if you're looking for CHL information, why not go online, www.chl.ca. All the game summaries, the CHL Top 10, check out your favorite player. All 3 leagues are profiled each and every day, and it's updated constantly. We hope you're enjoying the action from around the CHL. Coming up next, a Sports Central update with Darren Dreger. We're back after the second intermission. Enjoy the action, everybody.
Around the CHL has been brought to you by Bauer. Leave an impression.
Hi, everybody. I'm Darren Dreger, live in the Sportsnet studio. Plenty going on around the wide world of sports, and we will have it all for you tonight on Sports Central. News in the National Hockey League as the Colorado Avalanche have stated they need a defenseman. Well, they went after one, and they picked up 25-year-old Greg DeVries from the Nashville Predators for a 3rd-round draft pick. 3 games in the National Hockey League today. Let's start in Carolina. It is the Los Angeles Kings and the Carolina Hurricanes. 3rd period action 2-1. But it's Gary Roberts on the rebound to even things up. This game is tied at 2 in the 3rd at that point, but Moger gets the go-ahead for the Kings just moments ago in the 3rd, as Los Angeles now leading Carolina 3-2 in Greensboro. Vancouver and Tampa Bay, 1st period, 1-0 Vancouver. Sandy McCarthy works his magic. If he's got magic, it's behind the net. Feeds it out front. Vincent Lecavalier, his first National Hockey League goal. That ties the game at 1, and that is going in the trophy case. Believe it. Vancouver and Tampa Bay are tied at 1 as they get set for second period action. Phoenix will also take on the Anaheim Mighty Ducks tonight in a late play action. Canadian Football League, that's Mike Pringle rumbling in from 10 yards in the opening quarter as it was the Alouettes and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. 2,000 plus yards for Pringle. First ever in Canadian Football League history, and truly that was a story in the CFL today as Montreal rolled over the Bombers 58-44. Elsewhere in the Canadian League, Edmonton and Calgary in the Battle of Alberta. The Calgary Stampeders over the Eskimos 31-19. And BC and Saskatchewan today. The BC Lions now in a tie position with Edmonton 42-37 over Saskatchewan. Disappointing news for Canadian golf. Mike Weir, Glenn Natchik, and Dave Barr are headed back to Q School as they cannot retain their cards. We have plenty coming up from Sports Central. But now let's get you back to CHL Sunday night. That's coming up.
With the score 2-1, Sault Ste. Marie leading the Brampton Battalions. I'm here with Jason Spezza. Jason, what's been the biggest adjustment that you've had to make coming into the year OHL season?
Well, probably the speed of the game and the physical aspect.
You guys are down 2-1. What are the type of things that you guys need to do this period to get back in the game?
I think we just got to keep working hard and capitalize our chances and try and stay out of the penalty box.
4-minute power play. What are the types of things that you need to do to be successful on the power play?
We just got to sort of calm down and try and take our time and set up. And I think we'll be more effective.
Jason Spezza, thank you very much.
Time now to take a look at the first period stats, brought to you by Coho, makers of the 2280 skate designed with Coho's unique ankle fit system. And the Soo Greyhounds came out early and scored in this one, but you got to admire Brampton the way Bradley came back less than a minute later to really to tie this thing up, or you'd think maybe this thing would get out of hand.
Yeah, I thought the damage could have been a lot worse than 2-1 for Brampton coming into the second period. They're still in this game. They've had some power play chances that they have not been able to capitalize. Perhaps the story of their early season is not being able, like Jason Spezza has said, not being able to capitalize on their chances. But surprisingly, they're down just 2-1.
Now Jason Spezza, all that hype coming in, it looks like this guy is the real deal.
Well, again, we're talking about a 50-year-old kid that's 6'2", 190 pounds, and he's got all the skill that it takes to be a big-time player. The poise that he shows, the confidence, being able to skate with the puck and make good decisions. You can give this kid 3 decisions to make, and he'll pick the best one. And that's great news for Brampton for this season. Whether he ends up being a battalion for the next 2 years or not is a different question.
How important is it that for the Soo Greyhounds in here, they killed off 6 minutes of penalties in that first period?
Well, that's far too much, and I know Coach Cameron's not going to be pleased with that. Again, Nick Jones is a physical player that needs to go out and make a presence, but then again, he cannot do something stupid like spear the bench and take a 4-minute penalty. What it does is it takes your skilled players and it makes them work that much harder, and they're coming off, this is their 3rd game off a road trip, and they don't need to be working extra hard to killing bad penalties.
All right, the score is 2-1 in favor of the Soo Greyhounds. We're coming back with more as the small fry love the bunker. Time now for the play of the period, brought to you by AutoPro Mechanical and Collision, the largest network of automotive professionals, and it is Mr. Spezza.
This is what we call a classic end-to-ender. And then he gives it the old Mr. Strilchuk. How do you do?
Oh, my. 15 years old, and he is our play of the period star.
CHL Sunday night on CTV Sportsnet. Brought to you by Canadian Tire, still the right place. By Chrysler, a proud sponsor of Major Junior Hockey.
It is a family affair here in Brampton as the Brampton fans seeing their team down 1 goal after 20 minutes of hockey. The Soo Greyhounds on top 2-1. They've outshot the Brampton Battalion 10-6 after 20 minutes. Kevin Quinn along with Nick Kypreos, and Nick, hey, for an expansion team, you know, just 1 win, Brampton, not so bad in that first period.
No, certainly not, and very much in this hockey game. And we mentioned earlier about capitalizing on your chances. And when you're young, you're going to squeeze the stick a little bit too tight in certain situations. And hopefully as the season progresses, Coach Butler will see a few more relaxed hands around the net.
And Scott Dellavedova making his first start for Brampton at home. And a few anxious moments in the beginning as the Sioux really came out flying, looking to get on top of this young team, and they weathered that storm.
Certainly they did. You know, you take a look at that goal that Corey Pecker scored in the first period, and perhaps he should have had it, but I really look at the defensemen and the way they gave up that blue line. And you're talking about Corey Pecker, who's got a tremendous amount of speed, and when you give him that chance to gain the blue line and take a wrist shot full steam ahead, I tell you what, it's tough on a goalie.
And there's a goalie that has played very well for the Soo Greyhounds team this year, Jake McCracken, facing 6 shots, not much work, but so far, so good for him. As we mentioned, they had a really good camp with the Red Wings, and you may see him in the Motor City for too long.
Yeah, Coach Cameron says there's no question about it. This guy has what it takes to be a great goalie. At times, he's very hard on himself, which you certainly can't when you're either a goalie or a pitcher.
That's right.
Or quarterback at times. Those are key positions there, and for sure that you're your own worst critic.
Vasicek with a shot. Boy, he can let it fly. And Dellavedova blocked it. Josef Vasicek just wound up and fired it. And he is one of the tallest players. Again, we did the game a couple of weeks ago in Guelph, and here again tonight. This Vasicek is definitely one of the tallest players you're going to see in the Ontario Hockey League. He can crank the puck.
Here at a bad angle, he still lets it go, and that's not a bad play at all. Anytime you're in that area, you get the puck on the net, a lot of strange things happen, and he's got a real intelligence for the game.
Out there with Martin Galick and Nick Jones. Early moments of this second period. Here's Jay Harrison, top pick overall last year for the Battalion. Another one of those 15-year-olds. Bateman keeping it in. Thompson's down low. Justin Thompson. Skilchuk. It's their first against Rafi Torres, and the Soo Greyhounds will break up. Here is Vasicek winding his way in. Vasicek loses it to Catilla. Tony Catilla around the boards it goes. Rafi Torres trying to get it out. He does to center ice. Millen shoots it in around the boards. Kept in there by Yoni Kukinen. Takes a bump behind the net. Centered out in front. Good chance there for Ryan Jardine, but he had the defense collapse on him. And the Battalion get it out. Millen being watched by Lucas Havel. Out to Corey Pecker. Pecker with one of the goals for the Sioux. Millen up to Yanni Kukinen. Cross-ice pass to Ryan Jardine. He's got Corey Pecker with him. Here's Pecker now with a chance, and the puck just goes underneath his stick. Set up well there by Ryan Jardine. Here's another chance. Jardine in front. Jardine trying to get loose, but he can't do it. A good play there by Kurt McSwain. Another chance. There's a shot. That one didn't miss by much. It's the Sioux starting to pick it up here with their big line of Jardine. Out there with Valentin and Corey Pecker. Here's Valentin. Jason Spezza out there, number 9. Loose in front. Havel to Spezza. Spezza bouncing puck, trying to knock it down. Keating out in front, and that one was picked up. And back come the Soo Greyhounds. This is Corey Pecker. He'll line change. He'll just ease it in, but a good chance there is the Sioux looking again the first couple of minutes to really make something happen.
And again, they're skating extremely well, and it's carried on into the second period. Battalions need to tighten it up and take away their time and space. Because right now,
Kavanaugh moving in. And that one, as you mentioned, time and space, they closed it off and avoided a tough chance. 2-1 the score for the Sioux. We're coming back to Brampton. Time now to take a look at the plus-minus leaders, brought to you by AutoPro, the largest network of automotive professionals. We'll start with the Greyhounds and Danny Pacero.
Certainly enjoying a good start to the season offensively, as well as on the plus-minus. And then we have Brampton with Cam McLaughlin, who's not in the lineup. He's out with a hip pointer tonight, but filling in admirably is his brother and twin, Blair.
Guys taken 157th, 158th in the draft, bottom of the 7th, top of the 8th round. And the twin brothers playing together in Brampton. And the PR person saying to us earlier that basically the shot, you can just one guy or the other doesn't really, they're so identical. They actually had to change his
color his hair.
That's right, just so they could tell them apart.
Well, I know Coach Stan Butler's got an easy time of it tonight as Cam's out of the lineup.
Delavid over behind the net, puts it around the boards. Van Loosen trying to get it out, can't do it. Brown will keep it in for the Soo Greyhounds. Getsilla trying to get it out, around the boards it goes, and here is Jay Harrison. Harrison, long pass for Van Loosen, broken up. Kavanaugh almost got away. Bradley gets it out. Bradley with the only goal here for the Brampton Battalion, his 3rd of the season. And we got penalties coming up.
A tripping call was Josh Bennett. Let's see who there is.
Now looks like Chad Kavanaugh also going off as well. Both guys colliding.
Yep. Still Brampton having a little trouble getting out of their own zone. There it is. Yeah.
So the 4th chance for the battalion on the power play, the first of the 2nd period. As you're mentioning, a little trouble getting out of their own zone.
Yeah, and what usually happens is the first sign of a bad breakout is when the forwards head up too far up the ice. And what they need to do is just start gaining that the blue line in their own zone back, lining up on the hash marks and making the easy pass. Guys tend to cheat a little bit too much sometimes, and it hurts your breakout.
This will hurt your power play too, as Chad Spur doing a great job on the forecheck. Finally, they'll get it out. Here's a chance as Jardine gets back and gets that out of trouble.
Again, the same thing we're talking about, just now it's on the power play. Guys need to come up together in a 5-man unit. Sometimes when you got 2 guys pulling away, now all of a sudden they're irrelevant. Now it becomes like a 3-on-2.
Jason Maliko gains the zone. Here's Brian Barker now. Barker will set it up. Back to Maliko. Wines fires. That one went off a stick and wide. Spezza's out there trying to get it out in front. Can't do it. Thompson has it now. Maliko off the boards hard. Jason Spezza being watched closely by Brown. Back up top it comes to Maliko. Jason Maliko. Thompson a shot right on. McCracken's there to make this save.
Thompson with a good shot on goal. Not too much traffic. McCracken's job very easy there.
Remember, off the top of the show, we talked about some of the keys for victory for both teams tonight, and Jason Spezza was one of the guys we were talking about. The other was that big line of the Soo Greyhounds.
Take a look. Jason Spezza, no points, but been very active so far in the game, creating a couple of good chances on the power play in the first period down low. And now on this power play, he tries to get it going, but he's been very involved so far, very active, and I'm sure he's hoping he'll be rewarded very soon for his efforts.
And that line of the Soo Greyhounds, of course, coming through. Corey Pecker with the goal. And it's 2-1 now with 48 seconds to go. There's a long shot. That one didn't miss by too much. Strelchuk trying to get it out. Harrison will keep it in for the battalion. 40 seconds to go in the power play. Spezza's out there with Harrison. Here's Jason Spezza weaving his magic. Knocked off the puck. We've got another penalty coming up as Strelchuk is going to go to the box for taking down Jason Spezza. Spezza moving just a little bit slowly, kind of favoring that knee.
Well, Strelchuk getting the knee out and either getting him on his knee or in the thigh with what we call Charlie horse. But again, watch this move right here. Gives him the outside inside, and he's gone. And Strelchuk had no choice but to stick out his leg, and now with a 2-man advantage, Brampton's in an excellent position to tie this score.
Jason Spezza out there, still trying to shake off that injury. Banged up just a little bit, his left knee. You can see him trying to shake it off, but he's out there on the power play for the next 35 seconds. A 5-on-3. Excellent opportunity as Kavanaugh set to get back on the ice, but here come the battalion.
Big draw by Chad Spur there to win that draw and kill off about 15 seconds, and now they got about 20 seconds left in this 2-man advantage. Huge draw.
Havel Moving it up for the battalion. Havel with a nice move, trying to get around Mulek. Still has it. And Bill Brown came over to help him out. 9 seconds to go. Only 5-on-3. Kavanaugh is set to get back on the ice. Once again, the Sioux doing a great job here, killing off these penalties. Here is Spezza now. He's got Bateman. Bateman with a chance. Bateman shot, and he missed it. Tried to go upstairs, but he missed the target.
Great pass by Jason Spezza there to send in Bateman.
Here they come again. Here is Bateman in there with Rafi Torres. Into the corner. Brown takes a hit from Torres. Spezza out there as well. Lucy in front. That one goes off to the side as Torres was knocked down. Italian still control. Lucas Havel back up top. Try to pass. Clear but not out. Maliko. Down low. Shot. That one hit the side of the net. Here is Spezza. Takes a hit from Mulek. Here is Bateman. Over to Havel. Havel winds. That one deflected and taken by Chad Spur. And here's Spur away. Here is Chad Spur moving in. Spur. Back pass intended for Kavanaugh. Too far. There's a shot by Fox, and that one missed the target. 24 seconds to go here on the power play. Long pass intended for Lucas Havel. Never got through. And the battalion on the line change. Great chance for a shorthanded goal. Just 5 seconds to go on the skill check penalty. Here's Van Loosen now. Van Loosen cutting from that. Right out in front. Another chance. That one's on the goal line. Whistled down as the net comes off the moorings. And now all heck's breaking loose. Oh, the battalion storming.
Aaron Van Loosen showing tremendous speed coming down the left side, driving hard to the net. And only good things can happen when you drive hard to the net. Off wing for Aaron Van Loosen, cuts in, and then they get a few cracks at it. But
we'll sort out the situation. 2-1 is the score in favor of the Greyhounds. Welcome everybody. Windsor at Mississauga. We get to see Don Cherry's team, the new Hershey Center, next week on Sunday night. But there's some rough stuff here in Brampton right in front of this guy, Jake McCracken.
Jake McCracken doing a great job holding his ground there.
And Brian Barker for Brampton and Danny Pacero off. 2 minutes each. Each getting roughing penalties. So coincidental minors, something new here in the OHL this year. We'll play 5-on-5 hockey.
And I really miss the 4-on-4s. I wish they could bring them back. Nothing better than seeing great skaters out there. Opened ice.
I guess it's an attempt again to try and mesh it along with the NHL and play closer to those rules. Now they haven't done that with the nets, but maybe that's next, you know, those kind of things. And the Sioux zone with 11 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the second period. 2-1 in favor of the Greyhounds, and here they come. Corey Pecker out there with Yanni Kukkonen. And Ryan Jardine. Here's Pecker, drop for Jardine. Quick shot, and Dellavedova made the save. Chance again, side of the net, bouncing puck. Jardine comes up with it, trying to center it out in front. Maliko is there to clear it around and out. That is a dangerous line.
Again, Ryan Jardine, Kukkonen, and Corey Pecker creating all types of chances through their offensive abilities there, and I'm sure they're looking to get rewarded real soon as well.
Let's take a look at Stan Butler and his crew from the Brampton Battalion, and what they've got guy going to the NHL drafted, and unfortunately for us, we didn't get to see Pat Parthenais or Jason Dold tonight.
Chance to talk to Stan Butler about Pat Parthenais, and he's a 19-year-old that hasn't seen, I think he's seen one game so far this year. He's out with an injury, and he'd be a welcomed addition back.
We just got one of the overagers sitting in the box, Brian Barker, cyst removed from his tonsils. So he had that happen on Saturday, and he's in the lineup tonight. So they're glad to have him back. With Parthenais and Doyle out. Here come the Soo Greyhounds. Centering pass here is Vasicek. Backhand shot, and Dellavedova had to be quick there, and he got the pad out. Brown with a shot. Another save, and Dellavedova stands his ground. And once again, a little rough stuff in front of the goaltenders, but Nick Jones sticking his nose in there. Now, when you talk about the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, around just a little bit longer than the Brampton Battalion, so as you might expect, their guys in the NHL. That list is long, and it includes some pretty important players that could have a great future in this league. We talked about McCracken and Jardine, of course, but some other of these guys, and Nick also with a chance to stick.
Well, it's everyone's dream. We use the OHL as a stepping stone to the National Hockey League, and it certainly did me wonders spending almost 4 quality years up in North Bay, and under the guidance of Bert Templeton enabled me to step in and play, and all those guys, I'm sure, are waiting for that same opportunity.
Chance just shot going wide. We'll be up in North Bay in a couple of weeks, Nick, and your old coach Bert Templeton will be there as the Barrie Colts travel up to the Bay. Forward to that. I think they're going to have a Nick Kypreos Day, aren't they? Name a street after you up there, or was it Darren Turcotte?
I think it's definitely Darren Turcotte. Old teammate of mine, had a wonderful career in the National Hockey League, as well as a few other boys of through the years of '83 to '86. Kevin Hatcher, Darren Turcotte, Adam Burt, myself, Mike Hartman. We've had great success. Wonderful city, North Bay,
and a great rink. And you know, it's so opposite to this rink in terms of, you know, there's no luxury boxes and no restaurants, but it's a great atmosphere for hockey, and it's one of the nicest rinks around. We're looking forward to that game. There's a chance with Soo looking for more, but Delvedova, boy, he has been impressive in the last few minutes as he has stood tall. As we mentioned, his first start here at home for Brampton, and so far so good.
They've seen about 16 shots so far this game, but they have been pretty good quality shots. And he's doing everything he can do to keep his team in this game. Brampton only down by a goal with a little more than half a game to go here. They're right in it, Kevin.
So important. I know it's a cliche, but this next goal is so important. I mean, the swing either way. There's a shot. Doesn't get through, and here's a chance now. Rafi Torres with a chance. Bouncing puck. Torres moving in, centering pass. Oh, what a big-time hit there. And Scott Thompson leveled by McCracken as he went in. Straight for the net, told to head for the net. Good things happen that time.
Great job by Scott Thompson there. Keeps his feet moving. He's only got one thing on his mind, and that's get a piece of the puck. And he did, too. The unfortunate part is he only had one hand on the stick. But again, great job driving hard to the net.
Boy, McCracken certainly made him pay for coming into his crease. Take a look at Scott Thompson, the right winger on this team, trying to get his team back into a 2-2 tie with 10:03 to go here in the second period. CHL Sunday night from the bunker in Brampton. Bateman out there to take the draw against Kavanaugh. They Sioux control it. Pick it up. Jason Maliko fires it down the ice. And Billy Brown's going to touch it up, and that will be icing. Well, we were touring around the building, and this is really one of the 90s. The Brampton Sports Entertainment Center. You've got all the elements you've got to have these days in modern arenas. You've got to have the luxury boxes. You've got to have the private suites, and you've got to have, of course, the restaurant. We had a chance to go to the restaurant, a beautiful facility.
And when you talk about a facility like this, you're talking about a complete package here. Not just the facility here that has the Brampton Battalion, but we're also talking about a practice facility, other rinks used in the minor hockey system, and now when it comes to generating revenue, you're just not talking about the NHL. This is big business even at the OHL level here. And
here's a chance for Bateman as Pacero knocks him down, and there's going to be a penalty, and once again the Brampton Battalion will go on the power play. A great chance for them again to get back into this game, and they're forcing it, and Speed forcing Pacero to haul him down.
Brampton's done a really good job the last little few minutes driving hard to the net, and so many things happen when you keep your feet moving, driving hard to the net. You really force, in this case, Dan Pacero to make a decision here. He's beat by a little bit, but either he lets him go or he pulls him down.
And he decided to hook him down. So once again, the Battalion going on the power play. Their 5th opportunity of this hockey game. Nothing to show for it so far. Jim Bradley with the only goal. That was an even strength marker in the first period. Here they come again. Paliko with a rising shot. That one hit the defenseman, didn't get through as it went off Chad Spur. Here is Barker. Barker winds, fires again. Knocked down before it could get to Jake McCracken. Behind the net. The Sioux come up with it. Lopped it down the ice. They have done as we go on and on, but all the power play opportunities, of course, in this game have been for Brampton, and the Sioux, that speed and the aggressive forecheck has been the difference. They killed off that 4-minute penalty in the first period.
It's one of those situations, Kevin, where you're going to look back in this game and it's either going to be the power play that's going to be the one that's going to end up biting the Battalion, or it's going to be, you know, finally that they get their goal on the power play. But one way or another, they are getting ample opportunity to get back in this hockey club. But give the Soo Greyhounds a lot of credit on their penalty killing. You know, perhaps it might pay off in the third period when these guys start to get tired. Their 3rd game on this road trip. And the penalty killers, if you take a look at Chad Spur out here and Kavanagh, they've had a lot of work for a period and a half here, and it might catch up to them, but eventually it's got to give one way or another.
1:12 to go in the power play opportunity for the Soo Greyhounds. They shot the Battalion 16-9 to this point. Battalion trying to tie this thing up. Here's that one whistled offside as Torres and Spezza couldn't get it happening. And we talked about the Soo Greyhounds. Look at the Brampton Battalion having to hit the road here. And Friday, Saturday, Kingston, boy, that's a tough one. You come in at 3 o'clock in the morning, even with putting the clock back and getting that extra hour of sleep. Doesn't really matter whether you come in when it's that late, does it?
Yeah, and then you got your visiting team all comfy and cozy in their beds waiting for you.
That's right. The Soo Greyhounds practiced here yesterday. They came in from Kingston, from Kitchener, I should say, on Friday night. Torres trying to get it out. Just 50 seconds to go. The man advantage for the Brampton Battalion. Their 5th opportunity, 0 for 5. Brampton Battalion, one of the least penalized teams in the OHL. The Ottawa 67s with Killer Kilray, the least penalized team, but the Brampton Battalion 2nd, and we're seeing it here. Averaging just 21 minutes. And Stan Butler, again, that discipline, and it's surprising to see that really in such a young team. Stan has got him doing a good job. He just needs to get him doing something here on the power play. Here's a chance, and that one picked off by Bill Brown. Cleared but not out. Havel will keep it in to Maliko. Time winding down on the power play. Chance, side of the net. Block shot there nicely by Bill Brown. Out in front, nobody there. There's Torres. Couldn't get along. Maliko just flips it in, and here comes the first penalty for the Brampton Battalion as Torres is going to the bench. He'll go off 2 minutes for hooking. That comes with 7 minutes and 29 seconds to go here in the 2nd period. So, of course, as soon as you start talking about how he doesn't take penalties.
Yeah, there you go,
it's
Kevin.
going to be Jason Spezza.
You jinxed them.
I did. Like talking about a no-hitter, but it's big number 9 and the jump ball, and look what he does here. Whoops. Spezza hooking down.
Well, it's got to be frustrating for Brampton right now. I believe they're 0 for 6 on this power play now and not having much success on it. And at times when that's the case, you get a little lazy sometimes. And of course, Jason Spezza taking that hooking penalty.
Here's the Soo Greyhounds with their first opportunity with a man advantage. The power play not really much of a factor for them on the road, under 10% at 9.4. Overall, they're 17% with the man advantage. Their first chance, an obstruction penalty. It's the new rules. It's the 90s. No more hooking. Obstruction.
Obstruction.
Here is Corey Pecker. 1 goal tonight for the Soo Greyhounds. Out there was Jardine. These guys are the dangerous line, and Martin Gaelic as well. Danny Pacero up top with Josef Vasicek. Playing Vasicek on the point on the power play. Here's Pacero moving it around here with Pecker. Jardine taking the abuse in front. Rising shot from Pacero over top of the net. Vasicek will keep it in. Around behind it goes to Martin Gaelic. Gaelic back to Dan Pacero. Leading point getter on this Soo Greyhounds team. Into Gaelic from Vasicek, and he couldn't get it away, but Vasicek is there to keep it in. Gaelic battling hard. There's Ryan Jardine moving in front. Jardine centers it. Harrison was there to get rid of it. Here is Gaelic. Look at the pressure that the Soo Greyhounds are putting on, and they're rewarded as Ryan Jardine takes a nice feed from Pecker. Their first power play, they make the most of it.
Great goal on the power play. And you can see where the experience really comes in. Ryan Jardine setting up behind the net. And then he slowly kind of comes into his little spot right there, finds it, and buries it.
Can't leave him alone. His 8th goal of the season. And no chance for Scott Delavadova on that one.
I tell you what, too, I was really impressed with Josef Vasicek for a big man, 6'4". Dave Cameron showing a lot of confidence in him, putting a guy like that on the point, on the power play, and certainly paid off for them there. But, you know, if that's one thing that a young club like Brampton can do, it's sit back on the bench and watch that power play and really understand that the hardest worker on their power play should be the puck. And when you have good puck movement like that, certainly makes for a nice, easy goal like Ryan Jardine did right there.
That was great. And Vasicek doing a great job of keeping the puck in as the Brampton Battalion tried to get it out. But we've got another penalty coming up, so we'll sort that out. We'll come back with 5:46 to go here in the second period. 3-1 for the Greyhounds. Brampton Battalion go on to their 7th power play. Josh Bennett in the penalty box. 2 minutes for this.
We talked about Nick Jones being a pretty popular player with his teammates. Another one is Josh Bennett. He's got great character, pretty tough kid. And you know, if Coach Cameron needs to set a little bit of a tempo, that certainly is a go-to guy for him.
Speaking of tempo, the Brampton Battalion have to try and get it going here on the power play. 0-4, half a dozen chances, only 7 shots. And like you said, if they were sitting on the bench watching that clinic that the Soo Greyhounds put on in their 1 power play chance, then that's really the way to go. But the Greyhounds have done a great job of killing it off when they've been shorthanded. Chad Kavanaugh centering it out front, picked off by Jason Maliko. Shot on net. And McCracken is there to hold on to it. Jason Spezza right on the doorstep.
Good job by Maliko to get the puck on the net. It's just a matter of other players being set up in a proper position to make the most of it.
Face-off coming up into the Brampton, into the Soo's end of the ice. 1:24 to go on the penalty to Josh Bennett. Jason Spezza out there with Brian Barker. And Scott Thompson. Havel and Maliko up top. From the drive. Greyhounds get it out and down the ice, and that's something they have done all night. As Maliko will set it up for the Battalion. Havel being watched closely by Kukkonen. Right there. Yanni Kukkonen breaking it up before it could get started. Here's Scott Thompson now. Thompson does a good job to get around Strilchuk. Spezza. To Havel. Fakes the shot to Spezza. Cross ice to Maliko. Maliko from a tough angle. The shot of McCracken is there, and so is Brian Barker. He and Strilchuk pushing, and there is going to be penalties. Both guys are going to go off. Brian Barker and Darren Strilchuk will sit.
A little better here. on the power play again. Puck gets back to Maleko, but not the greatest angle, but worse than that, players weren't in position to really cause McCracken any havoc at all. He saw the shot, it came in, not much of an angle, and not a real good scoring chance. Got to start getting some traffic in front of McCracken here.
44 seconds to go with man advantage as those coincidental minors for roughing to Strilchuk and Barker. Dellavedova will leave it. With number 8, Brad Woods. Woods starting out. Jardine out there killing penalties. This guy does it all. There's Ryan Jardine. Trying to take the puck off Bateman. Harrison shoots it in behind the net. Van Lucen trying to get there first. Torres is there as well. Mullen trying to get it out. Can't do it. Back up top to Jay Harrison. Harrison, 12 seconds to go on the power play. Harrison still has it. Not much chance to get a shot away. Jardine trying to clear it out. Can't do it. And Bennett is back on the ice. So once again, the Sioux killing a man advantage situation for the battalion. 0 for 7 now are the Brampton squad with the man advantage. The Sioux in contrast, 1 power play opportunity, 1 goal. Ryan Jardine will flip it out. Stan Butler got to do. Here's a chance now. Josh Bennett. Banned on the shot. Loose in front. Oh, what a save by Dellavedova. Oh, my. He robbed Joni Kurkkinen. 3-1's the score. Come on back to Brampton. All right, got a trivia question for you. What does this, which is the Devil Pulpit's golf course.
Start out and just rip it over the longest part of the fairway here.
We take a look at Freddie Couples playing the pulpit. Somebody owns that. Somebody owns this team. And somebody invented this. You know the answer. We'll give you a few seconds to think about it. Hockey, golf, and trivia questions. Yes, indeed. Scott Abbott.
You know, I was talking to him earlier, and I went up to him, and I told him I hate your game because it makes me realize how much knowledge I lack.
It's tough, boy. What a great thing for Scott Abbott, and he owned the Tier 2 Caledon Canadians, then got into hockey that way, the Junior B team, and now he's moved up to the OHL and has the Brampton Battalion. Big Montreal Canadiens fans. That's why the Caledon team was called the Canadians, had the Bleu, Blanc et Rouge. And he's actually got a couple of seats from the old Forum in the battalion office. So he is a huge Habs fan, but he's got a unique team here with a unique name and unique colors. They're down a couple of goals. Trying to get it going is Gaelic.
Their bus ride should certainly be entertaining. That game.
You have to take a look at the dressing room. Here's a chance now for McLaughlin again. One half of the McLaughlin twins in action tonight. Brampton trying to put on a little pressure. We're going to mention the dressing rooms of this Brampton Battalion team. You and I were in there before the game. Rival some of the NHL clubs.
Certainly a facility that is second to none, Kevin.
We get to see a great facility next week as well as we're in Mississauga. You see the Hershey Center. It's the 2 brand new rinks to go along with the 2 brand new teams. There's fantastic facilities here in the Ontario Hockey League. Sarnia has a new building. We were in Guelph a couple of weeks ago. They're looking for a new building. Of course, the Barrie Colts playing in the Molson Center. It's the way to go. We don't talk about seating capacity anymore. We talk about revenue streams. Yeah. Here, at Spur. Moving in, wrist shot. That missed the target. Safiris trying to keep it in. Safiris with one of the goals tonight for the Soo Greyhounds. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Here come the battalion. This is Jason Spezza moving in, and a good play there by Chad Spur to knock him off the puck. And Chad Kavanaugh just stole it from him. Here's Kavanaugh moving in. He's knocked down. 1:13 to go in the second period. Tim Safiris shoots it in, but Kavanaugh didn't get out of the zone in time, so offside called as we take a look at Jason Spezza. Leading scorer on this team, and hard to believe this kid is 15 years old, and ironic that if something doesn't work out that he can stay with this club, he will be taken no doubt first overall in the draft this next June. And don't forget, Tuesday night hockey comes your way from the Madison Square Garden, where the Buffalo Sabres take on the Rangers. Join Jim Hewson and Craig Simpson on location, and of course Darren Dreger, my partner Nick Kypreos, and Mr. Millen. In fact, it's NHL control, NHL control. Hold on, we'll move it up. Less than a minute to go here in the second period. The Greyhounds on top by 2 and looking for more. Back up top, Brown with a shot, low and hard and on the net. Penalty coming up to the Battalion, their second. The Brampton Battalion will be shorthanded for the next 47 seconds as the Jay Harrison is off 2 minutes for roughing. Second opportunity of the Greyhounds with the power play. They scored their first chance. Here's Jardine. He's the guy that got the goal. Ryan Jardine, number 21. Across to Chad Spur. To Dan Pacero. Pacero holds on to it. 30 seconds to go now in the period. A long shot. That one whistled over the top of the net, and the Battalion get a chance to clear it down the ice. 20 seconds to go now. McCracken leaving it there for Chad Spur. Here is Spur to Kavanaugh. To Pacero. Danny Pacero moving in. Jardine out in front. Tipped by Nick Jones. They bang away. It's loose. And Jones just couldn't get it home. Kavanaugh now. Less time running out on the Soo Greyhounds, but they came close. And they'll have a minute 12 to go here in the power play in the third period. Oh, what a great chance for them to get their fourth goal. You look at Pacero, centered it out in front. Dellavedova had it for a second, didn't know where it was, and Nick Jones had a chance to put it home, but couldn't. 3-1 is the score after 40 minutes of hockey. We're coming back to the Brampton Center right after this.
Around the CHL. Brought to you by Bauer.
Through 40 minutes on CHL Sunday, you know we've been averaging 10 goals per game through the first part of the season. Tonight we have 9 goals total in between 3 games. So the goaltending and the defense finally starting to take over. Let's get you up to date in some league news around the CHL. And those players who are starting to have an impact, the young players who might possibly go maybe a top 10 draft choice in the June NHL entry draft. Take a look at the players, and we start with the OHL, and then it is all European. Dennis Fitke, the right winger from Barrie of the Ontario Hockey League. Greg, you like this guy, don't you?
Well, I sure do. I told you in our first show that this kid was a blue chipper, and I love the way he plays. Taylor Pratt, another kid. He's ranked ninth. He's going to be a power forward in the National Hockey League. Chris Beach is a real leader, and look for him to be a solid NHL player as well. But folks, what's going on here? We got Czechs, we got Swedes, we got Finns, all in the top 5, 6, or 7 picks. Skill development in Canada. We keep talking about it. In the minor hockey, where our emphasis is on games, games, games. Let's work on practice, and let's work on developing skills a little more than we're doing right now.
It's something Greg Millen believes in because I have to listen to it all day long. Top Canadian-born player rated right now is at number 7. Let's bring you up to date on some OHL news and a brand new building possibly on the way for the city of Guelph. The city council has approved a memorandum of intent which should result in a $21 million Guelph sports and entertainment complex, which will replace the 50-year-old Guelph Memorial Gardens. The new building should be in place by the year 2000-2001. Private sector sponsorship responsible for that building. Great news out of Windsor right now. The Spitfires should get Jason Ward, number 1 draft choice of the Montreal Canadiens, back in about 4 weeks. He suffered nerve root damage on October 10th, but the MRI and all tests have come back clean. They should get him back in about 4 to 5 weeks. He will be okay. There are 16 games around the Canadian Hockey League tonight. We have highlights from the 3 that we're broadcasting. It's been an exciting night, 9 goals to show you, but, well, the offense hasn't quite been there. There's been some exciting ones, starting with that one. Sebastian Tunnell, nice move around Donald Johnstone. The outside in, and even though he's falling down, Lavoie can't get the stick in the way. And that ties up the game. Saskatoon Swift Current in the Western Lake. Second period, 1-1 to score on the power play. Swift Current, Lawrence Nicolat over Jeremy Reich. 2-1 Swift Current.
Good things happen when you go to the net and have a lot of traffic in front. That was a good play on the power play.
OHL Sault Ste. Marie against Brampton. Second period, 2-1 Sioux. Power play, Corey Pecker finds Ryan Jardine. Bang, bang play. The Brampton Battalion putting up a good fight, but right now they trailed 3-1. We're through 40 minutes of play on the CHL Sunday night. It's been exciting. We have 40 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go in the third period. Coming up next, a Sports Central update. Darren Dreger bringing you up to date on Mike Weir, along with Vincent Lecavalier, the former Notre Dame Hound, and Rimouski Oceanic scoring his first National Hockey League goal. Darren Dreger will have all the scores and highlights from around the NHL, the NFL, including Doug Flutie, who's also continuing to make an impact. Then it's back to your game. You're watching the CHL Sunday on CTV Sportsnet. We'll see you after the game, okay?
Around the CHL has been brought to you by Bauer. Leave an impression.
Hi, everybody. I'm Darren Dreger, live in the Sportsnet studio. How about some shameless self-promotion? Join me and the crew for Labatt Blue Tuesday night hockey this week as the Buffalo Sabres take on the Rangers from Madison Square Garden in New York. We'll have all the action right here. 3 games in the National Hockey League today to tell you about. How about the Vancouver Canucks and the Tampa Bay Lightning? Second period, Mark Messier finds Matthias Olin joining the rush. He gets a couple of cracks at it, his second goal of the game. The Canucks move in front, 2-1. They are now in the second intermission, and that's how it stands now as the Canucks leading the Tampa Bay Lightning. Elsewhere in the NHL tonight, Phoenix Coyotes taking on the Anaheim Mighty Ducks at the Pond in Anaheim. The Ducks trying to square it off at 3-3. They trail Phoenix by a goal, getting set for second period play. And the Los Angeles Kings Carolina Hurricanes, Sandy Moger with the game winner as Manny Legacy records his first NHL win in goal for the Kings as they squeak out a 3-2 win over Carolina. National Football League action, Buffalo and Carolina. It's Doug Flutie going to the air. He's looking for Eric Moles. Is that an interception? Nope. Handles the ball. Take a look on the replay. That's a touchdown, his 6th touchdown as the Buffalo Bills lead the Carolina Panthers looking for their first win of the season. Carolina 0-6. Buffalo leading this one in the opening quarter 10-0. CFL Montreal taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It was the Mike Pringle show today. Opening quarter, a 10-yard run. Pringle touchdown. Didn't really matter. The big story here, Mike Pringle surpassing the 2,000-plus yard mark. First ever in the Canadian Football League. As for his Montreal Alouettes, not necessarily a cakewalk today, but still they beat the Blue Bombers 58-44. Montreal picking up its 11th win on the season. Out west, folks, Edmonton Eskimo fans, and I know there are lots of them, this is a disheartening loss in the Battle of Alberta as the Calgary Stampeders beat Edmonton 31-19. Now the Eskimos and the BC Lions are tied in the standings because the BC Lions picked up a win over the Saskatchewan Roughriders 42-37. Lots of news in the wide world of golf as well. Here in Canada, we're wondering what happened to Mike Weir and Glenn Natchuk. That is at the National Rent-A-Car Classic in Orlando. Neither one of those guys managed to hold on to their tour card, so it is back to Q School. And we're going back to CHL Sunday night. That's coming up right after this.
We're back here where the Soo Greyhounds have a 3-1 lead. We're joined with Ryan Jardine. And Ryan, tell us about the power play goal.
It was a nice play by Corey Pecker down low. He just found me out front and I had an open net. I just had to bang it in.
You guys are entering the third period with a 3-1 lead. What are the things that you guys need to do to preserve this win?
Oh, we definitely can't cheat in our own end. We got to play strong in our own end, and everything else will take care of itself. Just make sure everything's hardened out, and everything else should take care of itself.
You've had good success now with Corey Pecker and Yanni Kukkonen the last little while. What have you guys done differently in the last little while that you guys are able to put some points on the board?
I don't know. It just seems like we're gelling together, like we start to know where each other are on the ice, and we're always finding the open man, it seems. It seems everything's pretty comfortable around that line right now.
Great, Ryan. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Time now for our second period statistics brought to you by Jofa, the official protective equipment of the NHL. More NHL players trust Jofa over any other brand. And you saw Ryan Jardine, you talked to him, and he came up with a beautiful power play goal there in the second period.
Yeah, certainly great movement on that goal. And we talk about experience and guys like Jardine, Corey Pecker, Yanni Kukkonen. they're moving the puck extremely well, and they're making the puck do the work, and that's something that the Brampton Battalions certainly could use more of.
And you can see exactly what happens when you play an experienced team. Brampton getting all sorts of chances on the power play. The Sioux gets one chance. They move the puck around the well. You take a penalty against them, it can cost you.
Yeah, and Stan Butler knows that the power play is certainly something that can be worked on very easily. You know, when you got skilled players like Jason Spezza and Lucas Havel on the point, it's only a matter of time. They shouldn't be too discouraged because really what they're dealing with is just a little lack of experience.
Well, the Soo Greyhounds showing why they are playing some good hockey on this road trip. They have the lead after 40 minutes of hockey. 3-1 is your score. We're coming back to the Brampton Center right after this. Time now for the play of the second period, brought to you by CCM, the hockey company. 100% hockey and 100% efficiency on this power play opportunity for the Sioux.
There we are behind the net. Gaelic. And then Ryan Jardine there. And we talked about this line, creating offense for this team to be successful. And Ryan Jardine doing his job.
CCM, play of the period. We're coming back.
CHL Sunday night on CTV Sportsnet. Brought to you by Bauer. Leave an impression. And by Molson Export. History in the making.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Brampton Center. We're getting set for third period action, and the Brampton Battalion will be shorthanded for the next 1 minute and 12 seconds as Jay Harrison is in the box. This is the second power play opportunity for the Sioux as we take a look at Stan Butler, the coach. And as you mentioned, Nick, shouldn't get too discouraged by the fact that his team is getting the chances but just not capitalizing on the power play tonight. They're 0 for 7.
That's certainly something that will come up as the season progresses.
But when you talk about the battalion, certainly the facilities are first rate, and this is the barracks where the team comes in. Of course, everything with the military. You see the sergeant stripes, and those lockers are exact replicas of the ones that are used by the Michigan State hockey team. Stan Butler, a coach of the Wexford Raider Tier 2 team, used to take his team down to Michigan State, and so he had a guy come up and they recreated those. So first class all the way.
Absolutely.
Third period underway. The Soo Greyhounds on top of the score of 3-1. Their big line has come through for them so far. Jardine and Pecker. Spur trying to get loose his stick. And the battalion get it out. Danny Pacero out there for the Greyhounds. Quarterbacks on the power play. Josef Vasicek, the center, will be playing one of the blue lines. There is Spur trying to get around Malika. Does. Spur behind the net. Still has it. Chad Spur doing a great job of hanging on to the puck. Back to Pacero. Down low. Vasicek cutting for the net. Bouncing puck. Couldn't get a shot away clear, but not out as Spur will keep it in. Spur back up top. Once again, the Sioux moving it around very well. Only 19 seconds to go on the power play, though. Here is Vasicek to Pacero. Pacero winds, fires. That one deflects into the crowd and hit the advertisement right at the top of the arena. That thing was going like a rocket.
Speaking of rockets, Daniel Pacero, a real heavy shot from the point, and it's not hard to find out the reason why he's the top scoring defenseman when you got a shot like that. Certainly creates havoc.
Very modest young man, too. Talked to him before the game, and he, you know, just very short. Yep, all team goals, just playing our game, just playing Sioux hockey, which is keep it simple, and they've been very effective. 10 seconds to go here on the power play. Their second opportunity of the night. 1 for 2 with the man advantage. Ryan Jardine picking up the goal in the second period, the only goal of the second period. Harrison is back on the ice, so the Brampton Battalion kill off that penalty. Here's Brad Wood being watched by Tim Zafiris. And Bennett. Bennett has it now. Shot on net. Didn't miss the target by much. Strilchuk keeps it in. His shot goes wide. Next swing. Trying to get it out. Here is Tim Safiris now. The goal scorers for the Sioux open the scoring early in the first period. Jason Spezza. Pass intended for Cotillo is too far. Kavanaugh overskates it. Play a little sloppy in the neutral zone. Giveaway again, and Mulek just shoots it back in. Let's take a look at the Coho top 10 rankings right now. And the Halifax Mooseheads of the Q are #1, and the Ottawa 67s, the last game we did, they were #1. They don't lose a game. They're still undefeated, and they drop down to #2, such is the nature of the CHL.
What is this, college basketball in this, or football in the States?
It's tough. #4, of course, for the OHL, the Plymouth Whalers, top 2 scorers in the league on that team, including Colin Giacomo, who was the player of the week 2 weeks ago. Plymouth Whalers, of course, David Legwand, a former member of that club. He did pretty good. Went 2nd overall in the draft.
Excellent prospect for the Nashville Predators, and battled mono most of the summer and training camp, but no question that this guy has all the makings to be a great player in the NHL.
Anchuk, center ice, picked out there. There's Derek Fox. Nick Jones will shoot it in. Kalich doing some forward checking. He's got to clear the zone. Here's Maliko trying to weave his way into the Sioux zone, but the big guy, Josef Vasicek, is there to pick it off. Here is Vasicek with a head of steam. Look at him go. Vasicek, 4 Battalion have to take him out. Still going. Kalich, wraparound attempt. Loses his helmet. Did #2, Nick Jones. But Delvedova will keep it out with 17:07 to go here in the 3rd period. Don't forget, after the game, we'll take you to Sports Central for all the news and notes on a busy Sunday. Always in sports. We've got the NFL, the CFL. We'll get you caught up on the NHL as well. Mike Weir, we'll see how he did as he battles to try and keep from having to go back to Q school. The news is not good for Mr. Weir. Uh-oh. Time to get his books and pack his lunch. He's going back to school. We'll have all the details coming up for you on Sports Central. Van Loosen out in front, and McCracken, his body flying past him, and Corey Pecker, his teammate, took the net off the moorings. They'll put it back, and we'll come back. 16:58 to go in the hockey game. We're coming back to Brampton. Let's take you back now. 1993 Memorial Cup, the Soo Greyhounds against the Peterborough Petes. And the Greyhounds come away with the Memorial Cup as they beat the Petes 4-2 to take it all in all OHL battle. Ted Nolan. And that's all thanks to Mr. Lindros.
Mr. Lindros and his trade.
That's right.
Enabling the Soo Greyhounds to get competitive real quick.
3rd year in a row for them to go to the Mem Cup. 3rd year proved to be a charm as they picked up the victory. Now Dave Cameron and his squad hoping to get back there and, of course,
carry on that winning tradition in the Sioux.
One of the guys who is a proud member of this Sioux team is Ryan Jardine, moving in now against Cam Woods. Woods takes him into the boards. Jardine with a goal tonight. Yanni Kukkonen as well. Play on, says the referee. No whistle so far, and finally we get it. 16:38 to go.
Talk about Scott Delvedova towards the end of the 2nd period. Really did a good job keeping his team in the game. They're down 3-1, but it could be a lot worse if it wasn't for Scott and his heroic play in the 2nd period. Really, they're going to eventually have to break the back of the penalty killers of the Sioux, and I'm sure with 16.5 minutes to go, Kevin, they're going to get 1 or 2 more opportunities on that power play.
So far, 7 times with the man advantage and nothing to show for it. The Sioux, by contrast, firing at 50% with the man advantage. 1 for 2 tonight. Delvedova making his first start, though, for the Brampton Battalion at home. Oh, Kukkonen gets taken hard into the boards by Brian Barker, and that brings a rise out of the fans here at the center. There's a shot right on net. Good save by Dellavedova as that one was tipped before it got to him, and here comes 3 Battalion. Shot right out in front, and Barker was heading for the net and crashes into it. Takes it off its pegs, and we've got another whistle with just under 16 minutes to go here in the third period. 3-1 is the score in favor of the Soo Greyhounds. And there's the guy, we talked about him, Jake McCracken, being the cornerstone for this team, and you can show the steady play. The game we did in Guelph, he took a tough shot off the knee, just above his top of his knee, but he came back and played hard, and he's back in the lineup. But Dellavedova
just got a right leg on that as Brampton heads up ice.
That was tipped, and Dellavedova was sharp. Right to save. 23-14 the shots on goal in favor of the Sioux. Kaliko trying to keep it in, can't do it. Tim Safiris now, one-on-one with Tyler Hanchuk. There's a shot, that one goes wide. Kaliko back to clear it away. Gets a nice move around, getting away from Kavanaugh. Here is McLaughlin. Blair McLaughlin shoots it in. And McCracken decides to hang on to it with Matt Lucci right on the doorstep, as well as Matt Reynolds. There's one half of the Twins we told you about. Blair McLaughlin, his brother Cam, not in the lineup tonight, but they say that Blair and Cam look so much alike that could be either one.
Talking to Stan Butler about Blair McLaughlin, he's hoping one day that this guy will be able to chip in about 20 goals and 20 assists and continue being that power forward that everybody knows that he is. Like to see Brampton now develop some sort of forechecking now and try to keep the puck away from McCracken until they're ready to perhaps get a good shot on goal. Maybe get it down low, do some cycling. Right now they have not established any type of forechecking here in the third period.
15 minutes and 16 seconds to go in that third period. They're down by a pair of goals. It's 3-1 in favor of the visitors from Sault Ste. Marie. This is Bill Brown up there with Valentin. Pass intended for Nick Jones too far, and Jay Harrison picks it up. Valentin picks that off, keeps it in. Dellavedova with an easy save at the side, leaves it for Jay Harrison. Scott Spezza trying to send him away, and that pass picked off neatly, but it's going to be offside as Nick Jones couldn't get out before Vasicek got in. Josef Vasicek always got that long reach, great to be able to pick off those passes, and he's a kid that this Soo Greyhound team I think is going to depend on too. We'll talk about McCracken. He goes, they go. I think Vasicek's going to be a key too when they, if other teams start cutting down and keying on Ryan Jardine and Corey Pecker. This guy could be a key.
He's the guy that's a fitness fanatic too. This guy, they tell me, ran 3 miles in 18.5 minutes, and that is a great feat.
1 mile in 18 minutes would be good for me. Like a bicycle. There's Havel trying to come away. Swinging shot misses the target as the Battalion change it up. Aliko will keep it in, and Dan Pacero is there for the Greyhounds. Pacero, lots of ice time. Shoots into the corner. Nelson giving chase. Bennett is there. Down behind the net goes, and Aliko will pick it up for the Battalion, trying to get it out. Long pass for Thompson. Strilchuk picked that off. Mullen takes a bump. Oh, what a big hit there by Rafi Torres as he sent Strilchuk to the ice. Folks here in Brampton like that. Bennett, long pass. Here's a chance now. Shot. Oh, what a good save there by Dellavedova as he had Oak Hewer in alone. Hewer seeing his first lifetime. Here's a chance now. Oh, what a great save. Jardine came close. Dellavedova again makes the save.
Jardine bouncing one off the post there.
Here's Mullen. Jardine coming close, picking up his second goal. Battalion with a chance now. Loose puck in front. Jardine is away. Play opening up here with 13 minutes to go. Jardine up there with Kukkonen and Pecker. Here's Bill Brown. Waits till Jardine gets back on side. Here's Corey Pecker. Moving in. Corey Pecker, quick shot, and Dellavedova forced to make the save, and then Pecker was sent sprawling by Jay Harrison. Last his glove, lost his stick.
And the Battalion's having trouble here on defense a little bit. Malico gambling a little bit, trying to catch the puck in the air.
Here is Jardine coming in close. No, this is
Kewer.
Oh, Kewer, the big guy, just off balance a little bit.
And again, Brampton defense getting a little too sloppy, giving up that blue line. And with 13 minutes to go, again, we talk about the inexperience, but they are still in this hockey game. And I'm sure Stan Butler is passing on that word to them that they don't want to try to open the things up right now. Still too early. They will get their opportunities, Kevin. It's just they can't take any chances. The next goal here will obviously put them out of the game, and right now they're still in it. Still in it.
Pecker with a shot. That one deflected into the corner. 12 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the hockey game. Valentin hitting his man, and Van Loosen comes away, overskates it. Takes a bump. Here's Brian Barker now for the Battalion. Got Malico with them. Barker moving in, and offside is the call. 12 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the hockey game. The Sioux on top by 2. Well, welcome back, everyone. Another trivia question for you. Can you identify the man in these clips? Greatest hockey player ever. Now, wait a second. He's wearing a number 9 there, but the moves are still there. Aha!
That's just not right, Kevin.
Is that you, right? No? Is that the way you did it? Oh, wait a second. 99. We've seen that before.
There you go.
One of the most famous alums for the Soo Greyhounds. And, of course, the great one. Playing for the New York Rangers. Holds the record for most points by a Soo Greyhound, as you might expect. 182 points. And there's some of the other guys on this team. Played for the Sioux, not exactly too bad.
Take a look at my colleague from Tuesday night NHL Game of the Week, Greg Millen, and I find it hard to believe that the Soo Greyhounds had a team back then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, you talked about the roof and the complex. It was chicken wire around the instead of glass, right? Always. He'll get you for that on Tuesday night. 12 minutes and 15 seconds.
Get a jab in there on Greg Millen. I never walk away from that.
Pacero, long shot, doesn't get through. Loose in front. Cleared but not out. Kavanaugh will keep it in. Pacero, another one-time shot right on the target. Soo Greyhounds looking to finish off the Battalion here. And we've got a whistle, and Chad Spur getting involved. Number 17, that is Matt Leachy. Referee linesman trying to break this one up as Spur got on top of him. Frustration starting to grow a little bit here for the Battalion.
Chad Spur had a good feisty game all night. Continues to not let the Brampton Battalions not get back in this game, and a little less than 12 minutes to go. Brampton's gonna need every help they can get.
They are down 3-1. As you mentioned, this is a team that was in Kingston last night, lost it 6-3. And lost in Ottawa on Friday by the score of 6-5. Maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in here as we take a look at the Sioux bench and the assistant coach for the Greyhounds. Happy his team could be going home with a victory.
And they got to be real pleased with this road trip. Kevin, they've 3 out of 4 points and now possibly 5 out of 6. For a team now, they're most likely going to be battling that 500 mark. But with solid goaltending, they have a chance to really improve that.
It's a team that, as you mentioned, the road team, they started in North Bay, won that. Tie Friday in Kitchener 5-5, and a chance to go here with 5 out of a possible 6 points. But 11:54 to go here in the hockey game.
This is still pretty much in a rebuilding stage, but Every once in a while you hear that name of possibly returning Joe Thornton.
That's right.
And then wouldn't that make them automatically a Memorial Cup contender?
That would upgrade your team significantly. For some people saying that Thornton should have been sent back to junior last year. Spur and Leachy off. Coincidental penalties. So 5-on-5 hockey here at the Brampton Center for Sports and Entertainment, and that is true. They've got just about everything going on. When you tour this facility, it is much more than just a hockey rink, and that's why you see at one end of this rink too the no seats. They've got that set up for stages, concerts. They're going to have it all here. Darren Fox loses it to Spezza, but that was offside. This is one of the newer facilities in the rink, but by no means the only new facility. The other expansion cousin, the Mississauga Ice Dogs, have a rink they like to call the Hershey Center. We'll be there next week and look at the capacity of that. And of course, the Sarnia Sports and Entertainment Center, the All-Star game will be there, and we will be too. And next week we will be in the house that Don Cherry built as they take on the Windsor Spitfires, the Ice Dogs at home.
And knowing Don Cherry, I think it's safe to say that it'll be perhaps a physical game.
Absolutely. They give up a lot of goals, but they certainly put on a good show. Dellavedova behind the net, around the boards, can't get it out. Soo keeping the pressure on. Pecker trying to keep it in. Valentin has Jason Spezza on his tail. There's Bill Brown taking a shot from Spezza. Brad Woods trying to get it down ice. Torres was going to be offside, but Bill Brown comes up with it, just flips it in. Pecker will get there first, so no icing. Here's Rafi Torres. Around the boards, clear but not out. Pecker will keep it in to Jardine. Jardine being watched closely. Trying to get it loose for O'Kewer, seeing some ice time now. Here is Bateman, but that one is whistled down as well. 10:31 to go here in the third period. The Sioux on top, 3-1. And you think that perhaps a little fatigue showing for this battalion team now. They got in, as we mentioned, 3 o'clock in the morning. A tough game in Kingston last night. And maybe the legs just not there on this young team yet.
And the first sign of that perhaps is, again, not in position on the breakouts, getting a little lazy, starting to cheat a little bit. And certainly Scott, or rather Stan Butler, will be addressing that. But there's no question right now they're perhaps a little tired from the tough trip to Kingston now. And let's face it too, though, the Sioux have been skating well all night, and they have not let up at all.
And their big line has come through when they needed it. Jardine and Corey Pecker, each with goals tonight.
Offside, guys, offside.
Look at Justin Bateman. Jeff Bateman. Well, you know, the NHL is expanding. We've got new teams coming, new teams in the league, and the OHL coming up. And the Brampton and Mississauga, the newest members of that club.
Certainly take a look at this facility and the one we're about to go to in Mississauga. And those are cities that are dying for the game, and they're certainly getting the best of the best when the OHL now is in their cities.
And certainly pressure on every expansion team to match what the Barrie Colts did, and that was make the playoffs in their first year of existence. Brampton trying to close the gap. The Colts, the first team in the OHL to ever make the team in their first year, make the playoffs. Kavanaugh goes down hard. He is still down. He was hit hard by Bradley, and Safiris will try and exact some justice. Safiris losing his shirt. He immediately went after Jim Bradley, and Chad Kavanaugh still on one knee, but Jim Bradley heading to the box to a big hand, and here's how it started as he collided big time with Chad Kavanaugh.
Here we have Kavanaugh fakes a dump, or he does dump it in actually, And there's Bradley. Perhaps a late hit. Tim Zafiris certainly thought so. Comes into his defense.
Kavanaugh shaken up, still on the Sioux bench. Training staff having a closer look at him.
Talking to Dave Cameron about Tim Zafiris, and he says pound for pound, as tough as they come. He's about 5'9". Not a very big guy, but judging by the way he gets in there to help his teammates, he certainly doesn't lack size in his heart.
I can't believe that Stan Butler would condone that hit by Bateman. That looked like it was late. Kavanaugh had gotten rid of the puck and really wasn't in any position to take a hit, wasn't expecting it, and looked like he had the wind knocked out of him. Take a look at Kavanaugh as he comes across the line, and how long after he gets rid of the puck?
One steamboat, two steamboats.
Bradley just lays him out. He stayed down for quite a while.
Working his jaw a little bit. I think he
kind of wondering where he is. Looked like, man, what are we back home
yet?
yet?
About that, Chad. I know that feeling, buddy.
Oh, dear. Yes, indeed. Zafiris, the guy that came to the rescue of Chad Kavanaugh, he gets the extra penalty. Tim Zafiris, number 9, and he is heading to the Sioux dressing room.
Perhaps a 10-minute misconduct. Bradley is staring him in the face here. But again, we talk about opportunities again. None bigger than this one here for Brampton, as a little over 9.5 minutes to go, and if by chance they can get their first power play goal of the night, it should make for an interesting finish.
It's a 2-goal game right now as Bradley and Leachy in the box for the Battalion, Spur and Bennett. So he gets the instigator and the 10-minute misconduct, so he is into the showers. Bradley gets the fighting major. So we've got a power play for the Battalion. Here's a chance. Loose in front. Oh! McCracken comes up big 3 times.
3 outstanding saves.
The Battalion, their best opportunity. Spezza. Havel. Shot on net. That one goes wide. Spezza trying to get to it. Can't. And Jardine shoots it down, but oh, Jake McCracken earning his starting role on this team tonight.
Spezza doing a great job utilizing his size and speed, getting the puck to the net.
Shot by Barker, knocked down by Pacero before it came through. A minute to go here in the man advantage. The 8th chance for the Battalion. Maliko flips it in. Ryan Barker. Here with Jason Spezza. Here is Barker back up top. Maliko wide, fires through a crowd, deflected by Thompson. Barker trying to get to it, clear but not out. Havel with a shot. Maliko one times it, and there he is. Jake McCracken will end the action as he hangs onto it. He deserves the rest. What a great series for Jake McCracken as he denies the Battalion with 39 seconds to go here in the man advantage for Brampton.
Well, certainly when Brampton gets opportunities like this, Kevin, certainly makes going 0 for 7 a little more acceptable. I think that last one got a bit of the post, but
there he is making the big time save. So Jake McCracken, 19 saves tonight, and the heat being turned up in the last few minutes by the Battalion. Sioux still out shooting. Brampton 27-20 the count, and 39 seconds to go. The man advantage for Brampton.
Brampton doing much better on this power play as they have much better puck movement and better positioning.
Look out. That one whistles into the crowd as a souvenir. puck, you got to keep your head up.
All of a sudden, we're not as far as we thought we were.
Exactly. We moved this booth a little farther away.
Pretty close.
That was some flying rubber. From the drive. Brampton control, 32 seconds to go, and they man advantage. Torres back up top. Here's Rafi Torres, number 10. Kavanaugh almost intercepted that pass. The corner goes. Bateman behind the net, trying to get away. Brown trying to kick loose of Van Loosen, can't do it. Woods pinching in, keeping it down. Here's Brown now, he'll try and get it out. Gives it away right up the middle. Here's Bateman keeping it in. And finally it's shot down the ice by Chad Kavanaugh. The Soo Greyhounds will change up their penalty killers as this one is all over. Bennett's on the ice, so another chance, another opportunity for Brampton missed here. 0 for 8 tonight on the power play. Here's a chance now for Martin Galick. Down the other way. Galick with a shot, and that one goes off the glove of Delavadova. Jones at the side of the net from a tough angle. Bangs away. Out there with Vasicek. Vasicek centering pass for Galick, and that one tipped out and down the ice. Boy, they are dangerous. Nick Jones, more than just a fighter. Here is Vasicek now with a head of steam. Vasicek cutting for the net. Last control at the last second. Loose in front. Galick tried to poke it home, and here comes Brampton now. 3 of them led by Jason Spezza. Here is Spezza. Centering pass. Havel. Loose in front. Bouncing. Puck, and that one just goes wide. Vasicek behind the net. Good action at both ends as Jason Spezza almost gets on the score sheet. Vasicek. He and Hanchuk battle for the puck. Kukkonen will keep it in. The chance now. That shot goes wide off the stick of Nick Jones. 6 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the game. Brown to Jones. Down the ice here is Corey Pecker looking for some help. All he sees is green shirts. Centers it out in front, and it's taken away by Brian Barker. Here is Barker with Aaron Van Loosen. He shoots it in. Kraken plays it off glass. Barker will keep it in. Barker trying to get a shot away. Can't do it. Into the corner it goes for Van Loosen. Ulick was there. Woods will keep it in. Wrist shot right on net. McCracken the save. Off the glass. Bouncing puck. McLaughlin. Kept in. Finally, the Sioux are going to flip it out and down the ice, but good action both ends. Icing is the call. 5:34 is the score. 3-1 in favor of the Sioux. Come on back.
CHL Sunday, it may be 3-1 for the Sioux, but out west they are all even. Saskatoon, Swift Current, Blades, and Broncos. Saskatoon down 2-1, but the rebound comes out to Garrett Bembridge, who wraps it home. His third of the year, ties the game up at 2-2. Saskatoon and Swift Current with 9 minutes left. Back to Kevin and Nick.
Welcome back, everyone, to Brampton and the Battalion and the Sioux. I'll tell you something, Nick. Maybe this team isn't the best team in the league, but they rival in terms of having fun. The music is going, and they got a chicken.
Am I correct? Was he giving away frozen chicken?
It looked like
he's throwing boxes of frozen chicken in the stand.
I tell you.
It's all fun and games until you get a thigh
in the
forehead.
5:24 to go here in the third period. That's all part of it. We saw motorcycles. Yes. We saw, you know, the battalion coming out of that tank at the beginning of the game. Boy, it's all part of it here in the 90s. And you know what? There's celebrities everywhere from the world of football.
Well, speaking of Harleys.
There you go. He loves it. Former CFL coach with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Jeff Reinbold in attendance. He'll be working soon in the CFL. There's no doubt about it. He'll be out of work long. Bennett shoots it in. Kavanaugh giving chase. Hanchuk all over him. Bennett in there as well. Here is Tyler Hanchuk trying to get it out. Can't do it. Skrilchuk keeps it in. Kavanaugh gets it out and they'll regroup. Spur just shooting it in. Bennett will give chase. Maliko gets there first for the battalion. Nice move to get away from Bennett. Maliko pass too far for Thompson, and Skrilchuk will pick it up for the Sioux. To Bennett. Here is Kavanaugh trying to get a fourth goal for the Sioux. Greyhound team. They lead 3-1 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Rafi Torres with a chance. Oh, Torres moving in. Shot scores!
Great effort.
Oh, what a play by Rafi Torres. And now it's a one-goal game.
Just a great individual effort by Rafi Torres. Starts at his own blue line. And that's Darren Strilchuk.
His 4th goal of the season.
Gives him the inside-outside.
Nice goal. And
Strilchuk having a little problems one-on-one earlier.
Take a look at Torres, his 4th goal of the season. Yep.
Jason Spezza undressing him, and now Rafi Torres. Got a great effort.
So it's a one-goal game with 4 minutes and 26 seconds to go here in the 3rd. Battalion coming back on a great individual effort by Rafi Torres.
And they are very much in this hockey game right now. And we talked about the job Delavedova's done for them, and it's certainly paid off here. 4 minutes to go.
Almost a sense of the way that the Sioux were clearing up the penalties that they didn't have a chance, but here come the Battalion now. Spezza with a shot. Kraken has to be sharp to make that save. Shot in. Brown trying to get it out. Maliko keeping it in for Brampton. Feel a little bit of a momentum shift as Spezza and Mulek go into the boards. Spezza knocked down. Here is Nick Jones starting out for the Sioux. Jones shoots it down the ice. Changes for both teams. 3 minutes, 24 seconds to go in the hockey game. The Sioux on top by the score of 3-2. 0 for 8 on the power play. The Brampton Battalion, but they're still in this hockey game. Here's a chance now, though. Kukanen with a head of steam. Kukanen centering it out in front. Jardine is there, but he is denied. Back come the Brampton Battalion. Here is Bradley. Long shot. Blocker save there by McCracken. And Lucen trying to keep it in. Does. Back come the Sioux. Pecker just chops it out and down the ice. Maliko goes back. Pick it up. Gets it up to Van Lucen. Things opening up here in the last 2.5 minutes. Stick around. It's a one-goal game. We're in Brampton on CHL Sunday night. Welcome back to the bunker, everyone, in Brampton. 2 minutes, 43 seconds to go in the hockey game, and the Soo Greyhounds up by only 1 now, thanks to Rafi Torres of the Battalion. With a beautiful goal, make it 3-2. Spur, long shot. Delavadova gloved it and then dropped it. Maliko. Thompson trying to get it out. Sioux will keep it in. Here is Josh Bennett. He's knocked down. Kavanaugh doing a good job of keeping it in as well. Kavanaugh just pokes it into the corner, and Maliko will pick it up there for Brampton. Maliko, his pass too far for Jeff Bateman. Shot back in. Delavadova handles that one easily, and here is Jason Maliko again. Torres trying to get it out. Here is Bennett shooting it in. 2 minutes to go, and that one ends up being the Battalion bench.
You know, we talk about Brampton being inexperienced. This is a great learning experience, this game for them. Whether they come out on top or not is a different story, but the fact that they've hung in there and they've found a way to make this a hockey game, they're going to chalk this down as a good experience and hopefully build on this throughout the season. But I tell you what, Stan Butler's got to be pleased with the fact that they've coming off a tough loss in Kingston, late bus ride home, and tonight they've been pretty competitive.
Well, we talked about the fact that they were maybe fading there early in the 3rd period, but this second half of the 3rd, and of course the goal by Torres has put new life into this Brampton squad. There's 1 minute and 45 seconds to go in the hockey game. Giveaway. And Delavadova makes the save. Nick Jones in there on the forecheck. Out there with Vasicek. Shot. Loose puck in front. Jones. Gaelic. Puck is underneath and finally cleared out and down the ice.
Delavedova's got to be looking at Stan Butler with about 1 minute and 18 seconds to go here, looking for the signal, and this could be a costly icing here.
Harrison will go back to touch it, and icing indeed will bring it back into the Sioux zone with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go in the hockey game. Off the top of the show, we talked about some of the keys, and Nick Kypreos, Jason Spezza has come close, and also that Greyhounds first line has been a big factor tonight, and Jake McCracken lately.
Certainly the difference right now is the Ryan Jardine power play goal, and the line combined for 4 points tonight, and have definitely been a key here, and one of the main reasons why the Sioux is up a goal with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go.
Face off in the Sioux zone. The net for the Brampton Battalion is empty. 6 attackers trying to tie this game up. Brian Barker up there with Bradley and Harrison. Jason Spezza. And Jason Maliko. Face off to the right of goalie Jake McCracken from the drop. Controlled by Brampton. Maliko, one-time shot. That one rose up and hit Jardine. Bradley will keep it in. Coming up on a minute remaining in the hockey game. Back up top it goes. Harrison shooting it through a crowd, doesn't make it. Spezza turns, waits, centers across to Maliko. Maliko, his shot goes off a skate of Ryan Jardine. Loose in front, and Barker bangs away at it. 44 seconds to go. Harrison, low shot, loose in front, banging away at it. Finally, they get a whistle, but oh, some great action as the Brampton Battalion pulling out all the stops.
A couple of good whacks at it there to tie this game up. 37 seconds to go here.
Play has been in the Sioux zone since the icing with just over 1 minute 11 to go. All the top guns out there for the Sioux. Ryan Jardine quickly over to the bench to talk to Dave Cameron.
Brampton doing a good job getting the puck back to the point and getting lots of traffic in front of McCracken.
Now we've got a timeout being called by the Soo Greyhounds. Dave Cameron wants his guys to talk about it. Doesn't look like he's too happy over there. Really doesn't want to see this one slip away.
Certainly not, especially he knows you're dealing with an expansion team, which a lot of people think is an automatic 2 points. Certainly not the case here tonight, as they've battled for everything they've gotten tonight.
Shots on goal, 33-25 in favor of the Soo Greyhounds.
Take a look at Brampton's bench right now, and Stan Butler. You know, as an ex-player, it's a simple thing right now, and that's get the puck to the net and get as much traffic as he can, and try to cause some havoc in front of McCracken. And wherever that puck is, you got that extra attacker out there, you gotta outnumber him. If there's ever a situation now where the puck's dropped and it's a one-on-one situation, then someone's not doing their job here. You gotta double up on the puck, and then you gotta get it to the net and you gotta crash it.
Face-off coming up to the right of goaltender McCracken. Brian Barker will take the draw for the battalion. Chad Kavanaugh for the Sioux. So important, this draw. Battalion net is empty. 37 seconds to go in the hockey game. Battalion down by 1. From the drop. Behind the net, Sioux control. Trying to get it out, can't do it. 30 seconds to go now. Jardine has it. He tries to get it out. Barker will keep it in. Finally they get out to neutral ice with 21 seconds to go. Spezza knocked down. And a penalty coming up to number 28 for the Soo Greyhounds, Rob Mulick. He knocked down Jason Spezza from behind. Hold on. 18 seconds to go. A cross check.
The new Team Spirit program, sponsored by Thrifty, can help you raise funds for your team. Call 1-888-541-8887 or contact your local hockey association for details.
There is Rob Mulick in the box for cross-checking with 18 seconds to go in the hockey game. 6-on-4. Battalion net is empty. They are down by a goal. Once again, Brian Barker will take the draw against Chad Kavanaugh. Ryan Jardine, Danny Pacero, and Bill Brown out there to try and hold off this Battalion attack. Van Loosen, Bradley, Barker, Spezza, Maliko, and number 25, Bateman. Last chance, 14 seconds to go. Shot in. Brown will touch it up, and that is icing. Again, a young team and a costly mental error. Shot in behind center, and that could be the difference tonight, as Bateman did not wait till he got across center ice before he shot it in, and Stan Butler is going to let him hear about it. 9 seconds to go in the hockey game. Fans are starting to head for the exits as Dellavedova has to come back into the nets. An opportunity perhaps missed for the Brampton Battalion. Had a 6-on-4. 18 seconds to go, but now instead it's a face-off in their own zone. Still with the man advantage, but Dellavedova is in the nets and only 9 seconds left. Kavanaugh once again will take the draw against Brian Barker. From the face-off, Maliko down the ice, and once again Brown race for it. Spezza can't get there in time, and Brown will touch it up, and another icing call, and that is going to do it. Fired around, tried to go for the speed of Spezza to see if he could get there first, but Bill Brown got to the puck, and so it'll come back in. The Brampton Battalion with a great effort here late in the third period, and the goal by Rafi Torres had new life into a team that had struggled with the man advantage all night long. 0 for 8 with the power play. That is always a key, but a full march for the Soo Greyhounds as they compete a very successful road trip. 3-2 is the final score.
CHL Sunday Control, we hope you've enjoyed the last 8 hours, wall-to-wall hockey, but don't relax because we're going to do it all over again next Sunday. But instead of 4 games, we unite the nation with 1 game, the OHL. Windsor against Mississauga. Don Cherry's team, the Ice Dogs. I know they're leading the OHL in penalty minutes, but they're still searching for their first victory. Maybe it'll happen right here on CTV Sportsnet. Tuesday night hockey, the Buffalo Sabres, the Dominator against number 99, Wayne Gretzky. It comes up Tuesday night. Greg Millen, Darren Dreger, and Nick Kypreos. Hey, thanks for watching the Stars of Tomorrow today on CHL Sunday.